How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the stream. My name is Ty, and today we're going to be looking at some Dead Island 2 footage, while also discussing some concerns and issues within the community. So yeah, thank you all for joining me here today. Turn on the face cam. Yes, I have face cam. I don't normally do face cam. And that is my phone going off. That has the chat pulled up. So, to begin this stream off, I just want to thank the lovely folks at Deep Silver and DltaStudios for sending me this. It is a signed Game Informer Gold Edition magazine from last month that has a lot of the people from DltaStudios on there. So thank you. I really do greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. I did post an unboxing video on that today for those that want to go check that out. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining me here today. I hope we end up having a good stream. So yeah, as you can see, we got all the stuff, the normal stuff from the last stream on here still. But there's one new bit of gameplay. One new thing. And it is the trailer for Carla, which is a new character that's going to be playable. So let's take a look at that. There was many names speculated for this character. Some people thought it was Abela. Some people Carla. And now we know for certain. We can see her abilities, her skill cards. There's some cool things we'll take a look at here in a second. And yeah. So that's all the new gameplay that has come since last time. So we get this ground slam ability, which comes from the Crusher. We also get this gun kind of like slam back. I'm not too sure what to call that. You guys let me know. But it also releases a shock of some sort, which seems like a pretty cool modification. So yeah, that's pretty sick. We haven't gotten too much gun gameplay in a while, so I'm glad we got some more stuff. And, you know, you just got your normal slam attack. So yeah, that is the new bits of gameplay. And just got to get the chat pulled up here so I'm able to read it. Is this a face reveal? No, this is not a face reveal. But thank you all for joining me here today. So yes, this stream is called Concerns and Issues and Extreme Positives for a reason. There's a lot of very, very cool things to look at. Extreme positives for sure. You know, we have the new skill deck and stuff that a lot of people I feel like are undermining a little bit. I feel like there's a lot of potential there. But there's also some issues the community has as well, which we're going to be going over today. And I'll be compiling this into a video of its own. I'm probably going to do that more often. If you guys like the streams, I'm going to end up streaming every Thursday. So yeah. I'm really excited for this game. The Flesh system looks game-changing. The only thing I'm concerned about is the graphics because the game is being created on Unreal Engine 4, not Unreal Engine 5. I honestly think we won't see any Unreal Engine 5 stuff until 2024, 2025. I know we're kind of already starting to get it in 2023, but I feel like we're not really going to get those truly next-gen games until 2024. But time will tell. All right. We got quite a bit of people here. So yeah, feel free to share your thoughts about Dead Island 2 in the comments, and I'll definitely be sure to point some of them out. But mainly, we're going to be looking at this community post. So if you guys want to, go leave your thoughts in this community post. I'm going to read every single comment that is here. And we're going to be going over my personal thoughts, your personal thoughts, and yeah, let's see what everybody thinks. What do you think about guns? Honestly, I think guns are going to be a nice feature that's returning. For somebody that felt they were missing from Dying Light 2 a little bit, although it is kind of in like a different world, a different type of apocalypse. I definitely feel like guns could have been nice in Dying Light 2. For somebody that liked them in Dying Light 1. Although, they did make things a little bit easy. Backboard added new images in the website. I saw your email, Poker Card Master. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. My only concern is to be the lack of info on the different districts. Yes, that is one of my concerns as well. I feel like the game taking place in LA does kind of limit the scope of everything, you know? Originally, in the original version of Dead Island 2, you can go to the Redwoods, the Redwood Forest. You can go to San Francisco. You can go to Venice Beach in LA, the Santa Monica Pier. There was a lot more variety in the original Dead Island 2, which is fine, but I do feel like it does kind of limit some things. But anyways, though, let's get to the point. Let's get to the community concerns. So let's see. Let's start from the most recent. What about that? I'm worried about the story personally and also the gore. Yes, the story is one of my issues as well. for somebody that really liked the first Dead Island, one of the first. God, I need to rephrase that. For somebody that liked the first Dead Island, I think the story was kind of shit. Just to be straight up honest, it's your most basic: escape the island before the nuke drops and get your blood to somebody. You know, we've seen it so many times then and again in movies and in games and comic books and so on. Game Informer didn't mention that ammo is somewhat rare. Okay, I honestly think that's for the best. We haven't seen too much gun gameplay so far, but I do think the ammo being rare is going to make people use them less and make them more of like an alternative that's like an extra special weapon that you get every once in a while. So yeah, let's read the second comment. The only things I'm worried about are the sus scenes. Can't type in because I'm less than 15 years old. Yes, there's definitely a lot of sus scenes. A lot of gameplay moments that are going to be gory and very, yeah, you won't want your kids playing them, to say the least. I'll just put it that way. But also, going back up to William's comment about the gore, I honestly think the gore system is one of those things that's kind of next-gen. I am surprised to see a complaint about that, but hey, I respect it though, not the gore. The gore is not for everybody, and I can totally see that. Hey Ty, what do you think of the new Slayer they showed yesterday? But the first, I see your face, bro. Yep. I haven't uploaded too many videos with my face, but with Dead Island 2 approaching, I guess I better get used to it. I also got a fresh haircut the other day. It's iffy. I don't know how to feel about it, but you know, rolling with the new style and taking a water bottle break. Like I said, and I said this in my last stream, I'm not used to voicing just constantly. When I do my videos, I usually read a script, so it's nice being able to just be more genuine with you all, and I hope you all enjoy watching. Gore is what I am most excited about, honestly. Yes, the gore system. I think it looks great, but hey, let me know your thoughts. To each their own. Okay. Up next, the only issue I have is that we haven't seen fully uncut gameplay. Yes. Raw gameplay is one of those things that we're really going to need to be able to guarantee this game's success. And I'm not saying that as somebody that's seen a lot of Game Informer gameplay and seen a lot of uncut gameplay. But what I mean by raw gameplay is 10 minutes straight, no cuts, no edits, no nothing. Until then, I really don't know how the game is going to play and feel. I mean, truly, I won't know how it feels until I get my hands on a controller or on my mouse and keyboard. But we won't know how the game actually is going to play. We don't know how the flow is. We don't know how the flow of everything is going to be. So it's going to be all up in the air until then. I hope with the DLC they'll let you play the OG characters. That'd be a very, very cool idea. Somebody did say there's going to be a DLC that's going to be in like a theme park, like a Disneyland type of recreation. And I can see that being very, very cool. I'm definitely down for that idea. Hey Ty, your point of view, which location in Dead Island 2 would you explore the most? Of all the locations in Dead Island 2, I really like my creepy locations, so I'm down for maybe... I don't know. I really don't know too many of the areas yet. You know, we have like a tattoo shop, we have a bowling alley, but we don't really know like what the metro station looks like, fully what the sewers looks like. I think one of the things about Dead Island 2 that's still in question is we don't know the scope fully yet. We don't know the scope of how much they're going to go all out with this game, and that's kind of still up in the air that we'll hopefully figure out eventually. What's up, Edward? Welcome to the stream. In the skill video, you can get the Screamer ability. Alright, sweet. So, we can get the Screamer ability as well. I pointed this out in my last stream and in my last analysis video of sorts, that you can actually get most of these zombie skills. So, for example, you see the slobber that spits out the puke on you and tries to melt your skin pretty much. You can get that ability as well. So, for those that have not seen that, here, I will show you right now. It's for Danny specific, but I think we'll be able to get this ability for everybody. But I don't know. I don't know how specific the abilities are to each character yet. That's one thing that's still up in question. Yep, there you go. You can see how it melts the zombies and shows the impact of the gore, and how it really can just bring zombies right down to the level of a skeleton. It's pretty impressive. Can I ask you a question? Yeah, of course. Feel free to ask questions, and I'll point them out. Hi, Ty, do you think you can go in buildings? Yes, you can go in certain types of buildings. I don't think you can go in every single building, but there is a lot of buildings that you can go inside of. So, for example, this is like a nighttime area, by the way. I think this is actually in the city, but I don't know, really just a guess. But we do know we can go in the city at night. There's images of it. But we can go in, like, mansions and stuff like that. A lot of mansions, a lot of different interiors. Like, there's this restaurant that you can go inside of, which is pretty cool. This guy's trying to offer you a joint. Up to you to accept or decline. Maybe we'll get options to choose. I don't know if there's going to be dialogue options. That's still up in the air. Ty, should I buy the game? That is really up for you to decide. I make these videos so you can kind of make your own opinion and your own conclusions about whether you want to buy the game or not, or pre-order, or don't pre-order, or buy the gold edition, and so on. It's really up to you. Ty, you're the best, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Will downtown be explorable? Yes, downtown will be explorable. To what extent, we don't really know. But, for example, you have areas like these, which are on Venice Beach, and the Muscle Beach type area. But let me find an area downtown. It's more towards the beginning, I believe. Yeah, you got like a downtown area like this. But one thing I have noticed is there's like the earthquake thing kind of going through the city. I think that's kind of there to block you off from getting to other areas. Because I don't think, let's be honest, I don't think cars can just stop a character from jumping over the invisible walls. But, you know, for their own lore of the game, I think they're using the earthquake to break off the city into different districts. And the quarantine zones, too, because you have all the big quarantine gates everywhere. Ty, what are your thoughts on the melee weapons? I think the melee weapons look cool. I mean, they're melee weapons. We've gotten melee weapons in so many zombie games at this point. It's really hard to, you know, make a ton of new thoughts about it. How good do you think guns will be? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking they're like that extra weapon you get every once in a while that stands out and is just fun and nice to use, but you don't rely on the entire time. How big do you think the map will be? I really do not know. I really, really do not know. Any new comments here? Feel free to leave your comments here because this is what I'm going to be reading to get in your opinions about everything. Pretty much going forward with the events and concerns and issues and so on. Okay, so like he says, I hope they don't have a giant card system like Back 4 Blood. You might be a little disappointed. I didn't play Back 4 Blood, so I don't know the level of the card system, but I do think that's kind of how it's going to be if I had to compare it to something else. You can get the Screamer ability. The rating, I hope, isn't going to be Forspoken levels of bad. I have seen some people point out that this game is going to be woke, that this game is going to be fitting to some type of agenda, and I kind of don't know what you're really... I can see why some people are saying that, but feel free to elaborate more, because I'm still trying to... Maybe I'll make a video about it in the future, but it's still something I don't really understand, the whole woke argument. But yeah, feel free to elaborate more. Do you think you can customize guns with scopes? Yes, you can customize guns with scopes, and I will show you right here. Oh wait, never mind, there's not a scope on the gun. Okay, well I thought there was a scope on the gun in this trailer. I think there's a scope on guns. I don't know, I can't say for certain now that I don't have footage of it, but I think there is. But I can't confirm for you all, unfortunately. Okay, next, no playtest, little to no force behind weapons. Story, combat feels a little lacking in physics. Yes, the physics system in Dead Island 2 is one of those things that I feel like could use some improvement in general. Like, for example, I need to find the exact clip, but the way you just look at some zombies react to explosions just does not seem right. It really just does not fit. Because, you know, you see sometimes the hit of weapons really work. And sometimes there's a nice area at downtown, by the way, that kind of wants to see the openness. And there is random wheels. 4 random wheels in the middle of the road. 4 random wheels. What's that about? I'm going to assume that's a bug, because you can see the shadow of the full car that's there. Alright, well, we found a bug in the LA trailer of Dead Island 2. You can see there's some wheels there, but there's not actually a car there. You can just see the shadow. That's kind of weird. Okay. I did not mean to find that. I was looking for something completely different, and I do not find it. Oh, wait, here. Here. There's one explosion. Okay, that actually didn't look too bad, but the whole point was to look at the explosion impact on the zombies. Do you think this game will tell us what happened to the survivors from Dead Island Riptide from the boat scene? Well, we do already know Sam B is returning. So if Sam B is returning, I'm going to assume everybody is returning as well. But I don't really know. I think it's a really good idea. This game is not going to be an open world game. It's going to be separate into sections. Yes. This map looks impressive from the city. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like how it looks. Okay. Alright, that's a big comment. Okay, so the most noticeable thing for me compared to the first game is the zombie scream. I still play the first game like most of the time, so when I look for new gameplays, this doesn't really sound in pain enough. I think zombies in the game be a lot of scream with the whole kick sounds really painful. Also that. Okay, so doesn't like the zombie sound effects as much. Okay. Also the door breaking mini game. And vehicle driving is confirmed to not return. Yes, so the door breaking, how you would have to do the quick time event thing to break down doors. It's not returning. The no driving is one of those things I've had to process a little bit, but I think if the game can do traversal right enough, I don't think driving is going to be really necessary. And there's going to be fast travel as well, so it's not like that's really a big deal. What are your thoughts on co-op being 3 players instead of 4? Meh, it doesn't really bother me very much. Hey Ty, how do you think the game intro will be? The game intro is actually going to start with a plane crash into LA, just like the original 2015 intro of the game. So we don't really know too much past that. We just know we're going to meet all of the playable characters in the intro. We're going to crash land, and that's where we're going to get bit. In the very beginning section of that game. I like the door thing. Yeah, the door thing from the first game's not returning, where you have to, like, break down the door and so on. Dead Island 2, 1 or 10. Games not out. We do not know. Ty World to be Demolisher like zombies. Do not know. Do not know. The biggest zombie we've seen is the... trying to think of the biggest zombie we've seen. The Crusher, I guess. That's the biggest zombie. Why are you so handsome? I'm just being myself, man. I don't know. Just being myself is all. One more thing. The camera. The camera is too stable compared to the first game. I actually think the camera is a little unstable in the first Dead Island, because sometimes when you swing the two-handed weapons, you literally fling the entire camera to the side, and it's like the most obnoxious thing ever. At least that's how I felt when I revisited it recently. Maybe it's just a personal thing. We are not in Dying Light, lol. Yeah, we're not in Dying Light. Alright, bad class diversity, short story, empty world, no activities afterwards. I can understand that. There may not exactly be a super huge endgame, which is unfortunate. We don't really know the scale of the end game after you complete the main quest, after you complete all the side quests. Like, what's the main thing what's the main thing you're gonna have to grind for? I think that's something that a lot of people haven't discussed yet. Like, I think the skill cards are gonna be a nice system, but what's past that, you know? How many weapons are in the game? How many outfits are there to collect for our characters that we don't even really get to see? Does anybody know if there will be sus scenes? If you're talking about sex scenes or anything like that, I don't think they would include sex scenes in a game like this, but I don't know. For my personal taste, I don't like the playable characters. It's understandable. Playable characters aren't for everybody. Some people like their one playable characters that like want a story focus on one protagonist. I personally think the idea of 6 playable characters is a really nice stepping stone. It's something the first Dead Island did and a lot of other games do. But I think the sake of switching it up and adding a lot more player freedom, 6 playable characters voiced by 6 completely different voice actors, is a pretty sweet idea. And I'm glad they're not going the Hogwarts Legacy route and having, like, the voice slider. So in Hogwarts Legacy, the new Harry Potter game, instead of getting 6 different or many different voice actors, you'll basically have, like, a voice tone slider. So they'll take the same voice actor's voice and tone it up and down and modify it. So you can hear, like, the audacity type of weird flair to it when you hear their voice. It doesn't sound right. It definitely sounds weird. At least I thought so. So if you're going to play Hogwarts Legacy, I recommend you going with the default voices. Otherwise, you're going to probably hear some weird robot voices every once in a while. Skill cards neat, but I don't know, like, how you take ages to get the ones you want. Yep, it might take ages. We don't really know. Some cards you're going to get from bosses. Some cards you're just going to get casually collecting them. The only concerns I have with this game is sometimes the zombies don't react with being hit, and I think it can lead to unfair deaths. I can see that. I think the Crusher abilities can definitely be repeated a lot, especially if there's more than one Crusher. So I hope there's not like the Crusher ability spam, where you're being knocked to the ground and have to see the same animation. Do you think there will be skill trees in Back 4 Blood at 15 card builds, which everybody literally uses the same things over and over again? No, I don't think there's going to be a skill tree, and I think that's one of the controversial things about this game in general. Because the card system is something we don't see in games very often, at least in more budget-style games. You know, you have your card games on, like, mobile and Gwent and stuff like that, but you don't actually see it implemented into first-person zombie games or first-person action games like this. I definitely think there's a lot of possibilities to do something very, very cool. But, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I think it can get annoying having to only have so many cards be usable at once, because some people want to unlock all the skills, have everything unlockable, and it's not going to be like Dying Light 2, where you have the full skill tree to work towards. Instead, you're going to have just a couple of different skills and a couple of different cards that you're going to have to collect. So you can't have all of your cards in the same deck at once. You're going to have to pick and choose which cards you want. And I actually... Let's go back. I do have a picture of some sort here. I'm going to pull it off to the side and find it. Here we go. Oh, both for some reason. But here we can see the card skills system here. This is how it's going to look in the inventory for those that are wondering. And you can kind of just see how many skill cards you can have there at once. So it's not an insane amount, but it's definitely a good amount to where you can really switch up your playstyle. And it's not like you have to go to a specific area to switch out your cards. So instead, you can literally pause the game and switch out your cards whenever you want to. So it's not like you have to run to a different, I don't know, table to go switch them out. So I always thought that was kind of a cool feature. Sorry, I gotta go, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Not everybody's gonna be able to stay the entire time, so I really appreciate you being able to come here and chill. And that's all this is. We're all just casually sitting back, being fellas, enjoying the potential of Dead Island 2 for what it is. Although in Witcher Free, you don't need to find the skill cards. You just level and unlock them. I think the idea of collecting the skill cards and finding them around the map and obtaining them through bosses is actually kind of sweet. It allows for more people to have, like, a reason to grind. Do we know if Ram and Head Stomp ability will be in the game? The Head Stomp ability will be in the game, for a matter of fact. I will show it here to you in a second. It's in this gameplay, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Looking for the head stomp. Give me that head stomp. Come on now. Give me that head stomp. Alright, it's not in this. Will you play Dead Island 2 on stream? You know, genuinely, I would love to play Dead Island 2 on stream, but I don't think my PC can handle it. Do you think it'll be better than Dead Island 1? I don't know. I really don't know. I think there's not enough questions answered to really confirm that. And before to truly, like, be able to answer that question, I need to play the game for myself. Yeah, here's the head stomp. Boom. There you go. Looks good. Looks gory. I'll play it once more. Not trying to get demonetized. Because unfortunately, half my Dead Island 2 videos get demonetized. So that's why I have to push back videos or delay videos. Or sometimes I just say fuck it and upload the video anyways. I don't really have an option. So, yeah. That's just how it is being a YouTuber sometimes. Hey Ty, if everything goes good with Dead Island 2, do you see the chance of a possible Dead Island 3? I think that's looking a little too far ahead. But, you know, anything's up in the air. Anything's possible. It could definitely happen. But do I think it will anytime soon? Probably not. Also, I'm going to show the Carla gameplay for those that are just joining into the stream. Hey, Dio. It's my cat, Dio. He was featured in my last unboxing video, and he's trying to get into the other room, which we don't allow him into, because he's kind of a bully to the other cats. Unfortunately. So yeah, you saw the gameplay. There you go. Back to reading some opinions. Is level 70 the cap? We need to know. I don't know. All I know is Fury mode is unlocked after level 5, but before level 20. Although it probably depends how you progress through the story. I don't know for certain. Dio, stop it. Hey, stop. Cats, man. Cats being cats. Alright, no concerns. Respectable. My only two concerns I have with this game, sometimes the zombies don't react with being hit which I can think lead to unfair deaths. Yep, I read that one. And how it will launch. Yes. How it will launch is extremely, extremely important in so many ways, because that is going to dictate the future of support for the game. We look at games like Dying Light 2, and they just released, and the unfortunate launch was that it was kind of a mess. So for the past year, they've had to sit there and revamp things and build things and expand things. And in reality is, we don't get as much content in that year of the lifespan of the game as we could have, because they had to sit there and fix all of the mistakes that should have been fixed before the game came out. Will we get One Punch Man? No One Punch Man collaboration, unfortunately. But if you mean like a One Punch Kill or like a day one patch, I'm not sure what you're referring to there. gotta rephrase that for me, Metalhead Weeb. But I appreciate the comments. I'm glad to have 50 people here with me. It's awesome to have an audience being able to talk with me about these things. So what's the point of levels? Do you have cards that you gain abilities? I have so many questions. Oh god. Yeah, the level system is really still up in the air. We have no idea what the levels are even there for. If you just unlock new things through the levels, if cards are going to be more accessible after certain levels, we really don't know. But my guess is that the difficulty of the game is going to be gatekept behind the levels. For example, the more higher up in the levels you gain, the more difficult the zombies are going to be. For example, if you're level 15, you're going to have to fight level 15 zombies. What's up, Jaden? Welcome to the stream. Jojo vs. Dio. Yes. He's not actually named after that Dio, but that's personally what I thought of as we named him Dio. He's named after the artist, the old singer Dio, who's passed. Ronnie James Dio, something along those lines. Definitely not my genre of music, so I can't really remember his name for certain. One Punch is a mode in Dead Island Definitive Edition where your punches cause elemental effects and kicks. Oh, okay. I never knew that was a thing. Good to know. I have no idea if that is going to return. Absolutely no idea. No idea at all. Okay, so Yuma had to say, so far the game looks gorgeous. And the hits seem to be better than in Dying Light 2. Some hits don't even connect in Dying Light 2 and it feels floaty. It feels like the hitbox between the weapon and the zombie don't work correctly. This game appears to have the improved version. The stunning effects like electricity makes me excited to see more. The developers have good decisions and ideas such as the skill which allows players to switch things up. Yeah, the skill card and deck system I think really does add to it a lot. And I think makes the game stand out from a lot of other zombie games that have come before it. And I think allows for a lot of replayability that I don't think people think about. There's been no word about One Punch mode for Dead Island 2, and I doubt it'll be implemented. Yeah, there's a lot of things that unfortunately are not going to return like they did from Dead Island 1, sadly. I'm just worried about the bugs and fetch quests. Yes. The bugs, of course, we don't know how the beginning state of the game is going to be at launch, because that does dictate how the game will be after launch, because they may have to fix things and so on, like I just explained. But the fetch quests, oh man, the fetch quests in Dead Island 1 are... It makes it hard to replay the missions, is all I have to say about that specifically. But in Dead Island 2, 2015, the whole game was basically just fetch quests. You know, you had to do like your sitting missions where you sat there and defended something. But it mainly was just fetch quests. So that does worry me for the longevity of the missions and the replayability of Dead Island 2, because we don't know how many of the missions are actually going to be story missions with set pieces and so on, and all of them are like the other ones are just going to be like fetch quests, because Dead Island 1 is a game all about fetch quests. All right, we'll leave it at that. It's a lot. Yeah, it makes it hard to replay it in my eyes. All right, my only concern is the crafting or weapon upgrading. Yeah, we haven't seen too much of the crafting or weapon upgrading, but we do know there is going to be a good amount. You know, it's not going to be simple. It's not going to be lame or anything like that, but we do know it's going to be there, and you'll be able to switch up your weapons quite a bit. For example, if you want to put, like, electricity on your claws, you know, you can do that. I need to find the exact clip. I'm struggling. I've watched this trailer so many times, and I'm struggling to find specific clips I'm thinking of. Oh, here's the clip that I thought the ragdolls looked super, super weird in. Oh, man. If there's one thing I can hope for for the longevity of the skill card deck system coming to Dead Island 2 is don't make them paid. Do not make them cosmetics that are going to be paid, because if they do that, that I think is going to piss a lot of people off. We haven't seen too many, we haven't seen a lot of things to be pissed off about when it comes to the monetization, but if the cards are going to be stuck in like specific packs for the game, I think that's going to frustrate a lot of people. I think we've already seen it a little bit be stuck in the pre-order bonuses and the gold edition of the game, but if they go far enough to have like a whole store page with card decks and certain builds already there and so on, I think that's going to suck. And I really hope that's not the case when it comes to their monetization plan. But we don't really know their plan, so hopefully that's not what it comes to. But yeah, we can see a few zombies here. And there's a couple of copy and pasted zombies. That's one issue I have with the game, is how many of the zombies are just doubled. Tripled, even. Because in the background, you kind of can just sit there and watch. And, for example, you have the same zombie here and here. Same zombie here and here. And if that's the case, where there's not going to be tons of different variants, even though you can break down their zombies to skeletons, I think that's going to limit the immersion when it comes to feeling like you're in Hell A, you know? I think a lot of people do want that. Can you mod guns with elemental effects? Yes, you can mod guns. It just doesn't look right, you know? The ragdolls just look weird. I think it's the way they all fly down together. You know, the ragdolls just don't, I don't know. Maybe it's just a personal nitpick, but they just look kind of weird. All right, back to the comments. Gore and graphics are awesome, but combat is painfully slow, and in some clips, infected hit reactions are rough and don't feel polished at all. Yep, the hit reactions definitely feel weird. I thought in the first bunch of Game Informer footage we got, they actually looked very, very rough, and I saw some comments about that on the video about it. But the second drop of Game Informer footage, I think looks a lot stronger. But share your thoughts about that. I just thought it looked better. I thought the hits actually looked like they actually went the right direction. For example, if the character actually swung their weapon from the left, the reaction would go the right way instead of the opposite, which is how it was in the first bunch of Game Informer gameplay. But the one thing to keep in mind is that all is from the same build. The first bunch of gameplay from the first video is all from the same build from November, as the same amount from the second gameplay video. So, yeah, that's... Your voice isn't AI generated, you just sound like that. Okay. Very, very random, but alright. They need more airtime on the explosions. Yes, the explosions look a little weird. Will there be infected animals? I don't think so. Don't think so. Okay. Alright. Coming from my friend, Best Gamer Ali, who I've talked about with in some videos before, did some co-op videos back in the day with Dying Light 2. He says, what I am really concerned about is the day one state of this game, and this is something I just talked about a minute ago. A lot of games released in the past year have had a rough launch, which later affects them in the future, and in most cases, they end up fixing their game for the upcoming years, as with Dying Light 2. To me, this game looks exactly like the old Dead Island and a bit more upgraded, not too different. I honestly love it for what it is. Yeah, I think that's a respectable take. Ty, what do you think of the Last of Us TV show? You think Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey are doing a great job as Joel and Ellie? I've watched each episode of The Last of Us probably 3 to 4 times at this point. It is absolutely brilliant. I love it, and it may get its own video once the series finishes. I don't know. I don't really know if TV shows are something I would ever talk about on this channel, but I think the show is phenomenal, and if you guys haven't checked it out, you definitely should. Alright, coming from Steven up next. Hope it's a true day and night cycle. Combat and movement are both smooth, and the map has fun and interesting places to explore, but most importantly, I pray that it will be well optimized at launch. Another comment on optimization at launch. So yes, I can see I'm not the only one that's concerned about that as well. The day one state of the game is definitely something that's up in the air, and I'm glad because I think it's very, very important that the game launches successfully with not a ton of bugs, because the game is launching the same day as the new Star Wars game. And the first time I heard that, I felt so dead inside because I feel bad for the developers of Dead Island 2. Because you know damn well that Star Wars is Star Wars, alright, let's be honest. That game is going to be very, very popular at launch, no matter if the game is shitty or not. I think it's going to be popular regardless, and they're launching on the exact same day. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Survivor, I believe, is launching the same day as Dead Island 2 on April 28th. And that sucks. It's very unfortunate. Kanihuko, he's talking about on the Deep Silver website, I believe. Yeah, the Deep Silver website. Hey, Ty, I wrote a concern about Sam B 5 minutes ago. All right, let's refresh it. Let's see. We got 45 comments now. Awesome. I'm concerned about too much gore, day one state, bugs, weak history, too much generic quests and fetch quests. Yep, the fetch quests in Dead Island 1 kill me trying to play it. So I definitely feel that. And I think they need to polish some ragdolls. Yes, glad we agree. Alright, Ty, will you play Dead Island 2 on stream? That is if I can upgrade my setup, because currently my setup is kind of in a shit state at the moment. I really struggle to even be able to stream a game on stream at all. Rather, it was Escape Dead Island the other day, or Dead Island 1, which I streamed a month or so back. So yeah, that definitely is frustrating, and I can understand those concerns. So my biggest concern is, now hear me out, is how Dead Island 2 is going to explain the backstory of Sam B escaping Dead Island 2. You know, the Riptide Island. I hear rumors are that he got picked up by someone or escaped LA by himself, and we get to meet him early in the game. But in my point, I don't want this view Sam B to go around and kill zombies with us. I want to know from him how he escaped, and how did he even reach LA in the first place. Give us a good reason why he was the only one that made it out alive. The thing we don't know for sure is we don't know if he's the only one that made it out alive. I made a video recently going over the possibility of Karen, which was the main Dead Island antagonist, returning, and I think there's always a possibility of others returning as well. Do I think a lot of them or all of them are going to? No, but I think the idea that Sam B himself returns kind of opens the door to everybody else returning as well. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I'm definitely curious what you all have to say, because, you know, today the video is about concerns. Let's get all the concerns and issues out of the way, so, you know, we don't have to talk about it too much. Let's leave it up to the skeptics. The skeptics to really be critical. And I am critical. I'm definitely skeptical about Dead Island 2, but I'm also very optimistic, and I'm very hopeful for the possibilities that the game is going to be successful. Do I think the game is going to blow new waters and be super, super innovative and be like next gen, Unreal Engine 5, the next big step for gaming? No, it was made on Unreal Engine 4, and I think it's going to be a nice, simple, fun game, and I think that's kind of all that matters. To me, at least. But you share your thoughts. It's a terrible theme for new games. Okay. Alright. Let's keep moving on down. We got a lot to read. The Crusher slam attacking, having a shockwave. The shockwave effect using first zombies. Yeah, the shockwave effect is not for everybody that I see. It's definitely cartoony and arcadey. And I think that's kind of like the effects for a lot of this game. They're going for a very arcadey and like cartoony kind of tone. I read an interview that the developers at Dan Buster kind of wanted to bring that LA or like Hollywood vision of California to life. For example, in movies you see, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you get like a specific lens of Hollywood. And I think they're kind of trying to bring that to life in a modern zombie apocalyptic way. Kind of like Shaun of the Dead. I think that's a similar tone they're kind of trying to go for a little bit. Also, Dead Rising, I think that's another good game to compare it to in terms of tone. Although, hopefully they don't go too far with the Dead Rising tone, because that game got crazy, unfortunately, later down the line as the sequels progressed. Okay, coming from Rook, hoping the map is a decent size. We've only been seeing pretty much repeat locations. I want to see inside that mall area. I forgot about the mall area, yes. They showed the gameplay in the first teaser, or perhaps the more indoor locations like the arcade-looking place that we saw in the pre-order trailer for the game. Yeah, the arcade-looking place looks absolutely awesome. Here, I'll show it to you guys all now. Honestly, do want this game to be a fresh start of the series. The lore kind of got hard to follow. Well, it's definitely not going to be a fresh start because they confirmed it takes place 10 years after the first Dead Island. And also, here is the arcade-looking place. It's going to be around the Butcher the Clown boss fight because you can see a clown that was just there. But yeah, the arcade place looks cool. But the lore is going to be a continuation because Sam B is returning. And Deep Silver and Dan Buster have made it very, very clear that that is the Sam B from Dead Island 1 that's returning. So, the people thinking that this is going to be a reboot, it's called Dead Island 2 for a reason. Dead Rising Saga times. Yep, Dead Rising, I love those games. Off the record, it was a spin-off, but I personally think it's the best Dead Rising game. The arcade area looks very, very cool. Love to see it. We're on the Santa Monica Pier. This whole area looks cool. Do I think we'll be able to ride the roller coaster per se? I wish. I absolutely wish. Seeing all the mini games and games like Yakuza and Dead Rising, I wish we can ride the roller coasters or even the Ferris wheel. But we do not know. We know one of the missions is about turning these machines on, but are we actually going to be able to ride in these things? Time will tell. That's all I got to say. All right. Let's move on down. Anything and everything. One issue I have with the past Dead Island and Dying Light games is the lack of guns and gun variety. I know some of those guns have ranged weapons, but the ratio of melee weapons to ranged weapons is like 10 to 1. I can see what you're saying, yeah. I hope we get an equally fleshed out arsenal of melee weapons, also along with ranged weapons. The melee-only combat gets old quickly, especially when it's only 2 animations for heavy and a light attack. I think that's a good point. I kind of have to agree, maybe hoping for more guns, because I think if you hope for guns too much, it's really just going to turn the game into a shooter, and I think the game's kind of trying to focus on the brutality of the gore and so on, at least from what I see. But I think focusing on guns could be interesting, but I actually do think I've seen quite a few of guns in the trailers. You have some machine guns, you have multiple different pistols, from a revolver to, your regular sidearms, but the point that melee-only combat gets old quickly when it's only 2 animations for a heavy and a light attack, I think is something to really think a lot about. Because when you look at it, it's really only 2 animations over and over again. I think if they found ways to switch up the animations and to have the physics system react with the animations a lot better, I think it can really make things feel a lot more fresh. So you don't feel like you're just doing the same thing over and over again. I think if there was different animations for the hits and attacks, whether it's light or it's heavy, it adds a lot more to the immersion of feeling like you're actually, hitting zombies and not spamming the button over and over again. So if they find new ways to add new animations, I think that could be a very, very interesting direction. Ty, how do you feel if Dead Island 2 got delayed again? I would be sad, man. I'd be sad. Super, super sad. Alright, another comment from anything and everything. I honestly hope we can turn off the HUD. I hate when games don't add such a simple setting like turning off the HUD. The damage numbers and big obnoxious crosshairs along with the health bars get in way of the immersion in my opinion. That is a very, very good point, because you look at it and you get like weird words on screen like maimed, or you get like things to like motivate the player to do better, and I think that kind of does maybe annoy me a little bit deep down. Personally, it does not make me want to go ahead and turn it off, but I think that is something to be frustrated about for something that for people that want something more immersive. But yes, I do think we can turn off the health bars. I think we can turn off the HUD and all of that you see there. But I don't know fully yet. It was like that. Actually, no. I was sitting here thinking about it like, no. It was not like that with the first Dead Island. I had to download a mod for the first Dead Island to turn the HUD off. No. Oh. So you know what? There is a small possibility there may not be a way to turn it off. Because like the first Dead Island, there was no option. But I think they'll really add it in. I really think they will, because I think just having that accessibility and just ways to make the game your own is, the more freedom, the better, is how I think about it. Dame Buster got removed. It has a new developer. No, that's not the case. It's not the case. I got some stuff signed by Dame Buster right here. They're still making Dead Island 2. But imagine they did actually switch it up on us and put a new developer in front of, Deep Silver's like, fuck it, we're just gonna screw these damn Buster guys over and have a new developer make Dead Island 2. Imagine, a couple months from launch, they bring on a new developer to make Dead Island 2. Simply imagine. One would be in the history books, to say the least. The Game Informer gameplay is from November. I think they have enough time to polish it, seeing how the game is in November. Yep, I think they definitely have enough time to polish it up. Thoughts on Carla? Okay, I need to find a new place to put my chat. Alright, gotta set up the chat in a different way. Yeah, Carla looks interesting. Definitely not going to be my main, but she's definitely an interesting looking character I look forward to trying out eventually. Yeah, I've already showed her trailer a couple times, but for those that want to see it, here you go. That's what Carla looks like. You see, she's from Los Angeles, a mechanic, loves the adrenaline and being bored. I say she's definitely one of the survivors that has a darker bone in her body. She's one of the people that I feel like would actually, you know, feels too good killing zombies from the trailer, from what it seems. But I don't know. That's just an observation, and that's what most of this channel is. Simple observations, and I'm glad you all joined me here. Yeah, I'm not used to streaming, so I'm just constantly finding ways to, you know, be entertaining for you all. Is it 100% confirmed there is no vehicles? Yes, Bugs, it is 100% confirmed no vehicles are coming to Dead Island 2. They did a Game Informer video kind of recently where they talked about 86 questions and so on, but yes, they did confirm no vehicles are coming, which kind of sucks. I think that sense of traversal is a little frustrating that it is gone. Postcard Master says, the reason the game is called Dead Island 2 because it describes the setting Postcard LA seemingly wanted to make the visuals a picture as possible when it comes to the blood and gore. Yeah, like I said, they're trying to go for the Hollywood feel. Picturesque. I said picture. What am I even saying? Picturesque. The streaming. I gotta get used to it. You know, I'm not used to talking this long. You know, it's different. It's different. Ty, do you want to walk through in Dead Island 2 video like Dead Island 1? I mean, I'm sure many people will make walkthrough videos. Am I going to exactly make a walkthrough video? Probably not. But I'm definitely going to show my whole playthrough of Dead Island 2 in some sort. The first playthrough at least. And a co-op playthrough and so on. So, a lot of playthroughs, yeah. You can expect a lot at launch for Dead Island 2. That's all I gotta say for right now. I got a lot of ideas cooking. A lot of things to be revealed. What makes me hope the movement will be better? It was kind of slow if they didn't spam sprint. Okay, so another good friend of mine that I met last October in person is Oni Zombies. He says, I'm quite worried about the physics and animations. As some others said, the hit detection is a little worrying as seen in certain gameplay trailers and scenes, particularly the zombies reacting to the truck getting blown up, which I showed you guys a second ago. Shouldn't be called Dead Island 2 anymore because it doesn't take place on an island. That is a respectable point. Yeah, I could see why people wouldn't make that feeling, assumption, and so on. But I think they're trying to go for the island, the island idea is like the isolation of California in LA. California being in a quarantine is kind of their idea of it being an island. Because nowhere outside of LA is in quarantine. Everybody outside of LA is apparently at least in a better state than inside of LA, because that's where the apocalypse kind of is going. So we don't know. Devil Fruit is back. Welcome, Devil Fruit, back to the stream. So, yeah, we don't really know the scale of LA in Dead Island 2 yet, but we do know that it is kind of an island because it's in quarantine and separated from the rest of the world. In that way. At least that's how Dan Buster explains it. Alright, so yeah, the zombies getting blown up definitely looks weird. The physics and animations look a little weird for sure, but I think that's something that could definitely be improved as we get closer to launch. And yeah, I'll ignore that comment at the bottom. The duplicate zombies, yes. Like I pointed out, the duplicate zombies definitely are quite the issue, because it pulls away from the immersion of feeling like, oh, if my attacks can impact zombies in all these unique ways with the new flesh system Dan Buster made, I feel like the duplicate zombies kind of pull away from it. Because, here, I'll show you an example as I talk about it, so you can at least see what I'm talking about, you know? So you can at least see. You guys can come to your own conclusions, you know? I can be all talk, but you guys... I'll let you see for yourself. I guess these guys are kind of duplicated right here. But also... yeah, the zombie's literally eating herself. That is one good example of a duplication zombie. The zombie here is just chowing down on her own kind, person, model, however you want to put it. Devil Fruit, you're not going to sit here and spam the entire stream like you did last time. I appreciate you, but don't stream, or don't spam the entire stream. Have you heard of Slendy Tubbies? Oh man, I have quite the history of Slendy Tubbies. Slendy Tubbies made me popular in high school. So, I never was super duper popular in high school. I did hang out with a lot of them back in the day, a lot of the football kids and so on. But I wasn't actually, hanging out with them until I played Slendy Tubbies, until I showed them the existence of Slendy Tubbies. we slacked off the entire class and would sit there and play Slendy Tubbies, and it made me kind of a popular kid for a couple years in high school. So yeah, that's a fun fact about me, I guess. It's a lot of gore. I wonder if this will ever be explained. It's pretty interesting. Looks like something an explosion zombie would do, where their entire guts will blow up. The Suicider, for example. With there being no vehicles, it kind of makes me scared of the sections of the map that are going to be pretty small. Yeah, it kind of does worry me too. It would be cool if you can play the OG characters and play their journey through LA. Yeah. Real men play Slenderman. We played Slenderman too. We're not wussies, all right? We played the big kid games, all right? We played Amnesia. We played all of those, the cool kid games, as they say. All right, back to reading the comments. Oh, we're actually at the bottom here. Okay. So, Dead Island 2 is love. Dead Island 2 is life. Respectable opinion. Respectable. One concern I have is how stiff combat looked at certain points, but that can be either fixed before launch or after via updates. Another thing is we haven't seen yet. We know nothing about the map size or the layouts of the districts and how deep ghost exploration goes and so on. Yes, you are right. We do not know. We do not know. Ty, we need to remember that Dan Buster said that in each location will have... Dan Buster said that in each location will have zombie themed in each location. I can't recall if I've ever heard that before. Feel free to link me something about that, or send it to my Twitter. Twitter's up above. I can't point all the way up there because my arm disappears, but yes, the Twitter is up above, so feel free to, my DMs are open. Feel free to leave me some links to some things that you guys find interesting. I always try to take a look at things in my own time. Also, my email, which is down below. You guys can send me things there as well. I check that every day. But yeah, I've never heard of the idea that Dan Buster said that each location will have zombie themes in each location. Interesting. I mean, that kind of makes sense. You kind of have the butchers in the Santa Monica Pier area, because that boss fight is where the Butcher the Clown is. But also, we've seen the Steel Case, which also takes place on the Santa Monica Pier, which has another butcher zombie of some sort. But also... will there be quarantine zones like in Dying Light? Yes, there will be quarantine zones of some sort. Alright, here you go. You guys can see the creepy Butcho zombie, which is like a rock star or some sort of zombie. Pretty sweet. Love to see it. Well, okay. I think I'm more understand what you're saying. I thought you meant like in specific areas, like for example the town, there would be like a theme for zombies. But no, yeah, there's definitely themes for different areas. But I mean, the butchers could be a theme for the Santa Monica Pier. That's very, very likely. There could be a butcher hive. That's always a cool possibility that they could bring in. But I have no clue. But yeah, this... come on, you can't tell this isn't awesome. Look at him. Look at his teeth. Look at this beautiful teeth. Beautiful, beautiful. You can just see the depth in those eyes. All right. And yeah, we got one more comment left from Void. Then we'll refresh, read it through. How long have we been streaming for? Streaming for a little while now. Almost an hour. It's been a good time so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I have. Last stream, I didn't have a water bottle. And that was one of the biggest mistakes I could have had. Because water is your friend, folks. Water is definitely needed. All right. He has 0 out of 10. Oh, thank you. That is so kind. My hair is a 0 out of 10. Listen, my hair definitely isn't perfect, all right? I don't love it either, but it's an adjustment. It's better than my other hair. My other hair I couldn't even wear without a hat. Unless it would be completely in my eyes, so... no need for the negativity in this comment section. I know we're talking about negatives for Dead Island 2, but no need to be so personal. I don't give a fuck. You do whatever. Alright, anyways, Void D7, or Void 7. This guy is in like so many damn comment sections these days for Dead Island 2 videos. The hit detection just doesn't look right. Hits don't look impactful at all. Yep. Definitely looks a little weird. And yeah, that's pretty much all the comments. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to go through one more time. And yeah. So we got 51 comments down now. It's definitely switch. How satisfied are you? Well, I guess that's one way to tell me to go do something. Regarding the gore system, we'll be able to break bones without dismembering it like in Dead Island 1. Oh, I was talking about the butcher having a bet. Glad we got that figured out. I personally don't love my hair either, but I'm glad we got that figured out. Yes, the butcher's hair. That's why communication matters, folks. Some people don't know how to communicate in a relationship and then wonder why they're having relationship problems. No wonder. You guys don't know how to communicate. So thank you. I'm glad we got that figured out. Oh, man. Lovely, lovely. I hope they bring back the dead zones from the OG Dead Island. Yeah, definitely a possibility. I could definitely see them bringing in hives or something of the idea. Ty, go in Amazon and read it. I know what you're talking about, the zombie themes for certain areas. I remember now. Alright, so yeah, there is that. We've went through all of the comments. I'm going to refresh this a couple more times, give you guys the opportunity to leave any more comments if you have anything else you guys would like to say. Alright. When I said leave a comment, I didn't mean leave 10, okay? Did I need to rephrase myself? Sorry, I went offline. I don't know if my question was answered about a Dying Light TV show. A Dying Light TV show? That's a cool idea. I think it would be better if it was animated instead in the live action of, like, The Last of Us. Because The Last of Us works because it was already had a foundation. Had a foundation of, you know, being a very cinematic story. Dying Light's not very cinematic at all. Same goes with Dead Island 1. I mean, you have cinematics every now and again, but the story cinematics aren't like, you know, you don't remember the cinematics for what they are. The cinematics didn't carry the game. Wow, that butcher got drip. Okay. Alright, do you think that Punk Butcher could be another boss, or is it just a skin? I have no idea. Literally no idea. Will we have a grenade launcher? That's actually a very, very cool idea. A grenade launcher or a flamethrower would be very, very sick to switch it up. I'm sorry, Ty. It's all good. Not even a problem. Listen, I'm not really that sensitive. It is what it is. I was messing around more than anything. Hey, Ty, what do you think of guns being introduced to the DLC of Dying Light 2? I have heard about that from my friend Ali. It's a cool idea. I'm definitely down for it. There's been gun ammo in the files for Dead Island 2. Or not Dead Island 2. Oh, yeah. Dead Island 2, Dying Light 2. No wonder. There's been ammo in the files for Dying Light 2 since the game released. So hopefully we'll actually get to see that ammo. Can we romance the butcher? Alright, that shows me a lot what my audience wants with this game. Oh, man. I mean, listen. If Dead by Daylight can get a dating simulator, Dead Island 2 can get a dating simulator, alright? Just saying. Oh, man. Don't blame me if I say Dying Light 2 or Dead Island 2. Oh, what? Alright. Yeah, I think we've read all the comments that we're going to be reading. Alright. Lovely stream, everybody. Lovely stream. Will there be audio logs like in Riptide? No idea. We haven't seen too much of the exploration in general. If that's one thing I would like to see more, is just the general exploration. And yeah, that's one thing we haven't really seen yet. But yeah, for now on, feel free to leave your comments in the stream and your own opinions about Dead Island 2 in the stream, as I'm done reading this. For right now, at least. Maybe I'll refresh it at the end of the stream and see if anybody else has said anything. But yeah. One thing I'm happy is that DLC 2 will continue the story of Aiden after he leaves Villador. Yes, the continuation of Dying Light 2 story and DLC 2 was not originally planned, so I'm definitely glad to see that actually happen. Game Informer did mention collectibles in the podcast. Hello, Backboard. Good analysis. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. So, what we're actually going to be taking a look at least briefly, because I'll do this in a video of its own, we're going to be taking a look at the Dead Island movie script. This was originally a thing that was back in the works around 2017, and never came to be. It is 112 pages long. And so, yeah. It's going to be a lot to read. I'm not going to read it all today, but it is here. And it's here for those that want to come kind of check it out and see what's in the story. So this was actually summarized on the Dead Island forums wiki for the game, pretty much, kind of going over what's actually in the story. And it's definitely an interesting story. It's campy. You know, they have the Deadpool kind of effect where they're talking to the camera and they're talking to the audience like they're in a fucking Saturday morning cartoon. And it's weird. I don't know how to feel about it, but it's not for everybody. I finally got out of school and joined at the right time. Oh, yeah. Today, it's 3:30 right now, EST, in my time. So, yeah, now's the time people are getting out of school. So, if you are now joining me from school, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to rewind and go check out what else was said. The entire stream today is going to be made into a video or two of its own. So, yeah. You're the best, Ty, and sorry for spamming. Whatever. Yeah, it is what it is. So, some of the characters in this are actually characters that are kind of like spin-off characters from the original Dead Island. You got Dr. Kessler. And the more I think about it, the more I look at the script, the more less I want to read the script. It actually looks like a pain in the ass. I would actually rather just read the wiki. So yeah, I'll probably just save this for a video of its own, but the script is here. You guys can pause this and check it out if you want, but I will be making a whole video on this, going over the entire script, all of the characters, and how this would have tied into the story of Dead Island, because it was a pretty interesting continuation, spin-off story of some sort that looked rough. I can understand why it never got made into a movie, to say the least. I'll put it that way. It just... Yeah. Yeah. All right. What else? I guess I'll show the Carla trailer, since this is the newest bit of gameplay. For those that are joining the stream and still haven't seen it, I'll throw it up for those that want to check it out. Do you think there'll be treasure under the sand in Dead Island 2? I don't think so. I don't think we'll have a... Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. This could be your next film you create. Legally, I don't think I could actually recreate a film that has a script. Also, I don't know the legality of actually showing the whole movie script. So that's something I have to do some research about and figure out. But yeah, I would definitely be interested in definitely covering that in a future video. But I would probably having somebody known as Lego Dude come on and help me talk about it as well. We'll probably talk about it and read the thing together. Like, I'll read a paragraph, he'll read a paragraph. We'll read a chapter, read a moment from the script, and then we'll discuss about it. We'll read specific scenes and so on. So it won't be just me doing it. I'll probably have Lego Dude on here. He wanted to come on, and I'm definitely welcome to having him come on. And yeah, we'll make that a reality, so that'll be sweet. For those that don't know, Lego Dude is one of the admins on the Dead Island wiki. So he writes a lot of the stuff and actually wrote the entire wiki page for the Dead Island movie. So that'll be awesome. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. If you're wanting to look forward to a video from this channel, that may not come soon. That's something that's going to be a few weeks from now, because it's going to take a while. The script is big, and there's a lot to read. Quick question, Ty. If Crane returns in DLC 2, do you think he'll return in his Night Hunter form or in a sentient volatile form? I have no idea at all. I haven't even really kept up to date too much on a lot of the Dying Light 2 stuff anyways. So that's still really all up in the air. Yeah. So we can see a few of the abilities in the ground slam. This is one ability. This is one ability that's very interesting to me. And it's like this kind of like push with your weapon. You can use the back end of the weapon to kind of push zombies back. Unless that is what's electrifying all the zombies here. And that's what's actually the animation's actually doing. Which is likely what it is. So maybe when you throw zombies back, you'll actually electrify them. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's definitely from this animation. That's when it happened. That's pretty crazy looking. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I am glad we got some more gun gameplay, because it's been a little bit since we've gotten something of this type. And we can see a zombie running to the side here. That is kind of interesting. Interesting. So yeah, they kind of like dodge to the side a little bit. We've seen that from runners before, and I think that's interesting that the zombies and the runners specifically would try to dodge your gunfire. I think that's a very, very cool feature. Does it make sense that they have that type of humanity that they would? No, that's probably why the zombie's just doing it to dodge the electricity, or I don't know. I'm trying to make a reason for why the zombies jump into the side, but the main point is zombies will try to dodge your attacks, which is pretty cool. So yeah, zombies dodge the attacks, but we also see a screamer as well, which we haven't seen this design of screamer much of yet, besides on the Dead Island 2 website, which is pretty cool. I'll show that in a good minute, actually, so you guys can see the new animation for Carla that's on the page. So yeah, we can see the screamer. We can see the screamer actually pushes back the playable character a little bit, which is pretty interesting. I like that these screamers are here, but we don't know exactly what they do. We don't know if they bring zombies to the player. We don't know if they just push back the player. That's still up in the air, and hopefully they actually bring zombies to the player, but hopefully it's not annoying either. Also interesting how Carla doesn't seem to be stunned by the screamer. Yeah, you're right. That is true. She's definitely maybe blocking or doing some sort of animation of the type, but with the way the weapon is, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, you are right. She isn't exactly stunned and more just pushed back. Interesting observation. Great. Basically just virals, like from Dying Light. Yep. So, alright. The things to take away from this footage. There's going to be a pushback you can do with a weapon. Electricity. God. You can elect with like a mod of some sort. So yes, you could put mods on guns, as it is confirmed right here, which is pretty cool. Why does the screamer on the beach look like a screamer version of my ex? I don't know. I do not know. And then, you just have like a normal hit animation right there. Glorious. Great footage. Okay. Up next, let's take a look at this trailer. This is a trailer that a lot of people haven't seen, but we'll just analyze it real quick. Yeah, we might as well analyze everything. The last time I said we were going to analyze everything, I kind of just focused more on the Hell A trailer and the Game Informer footage, but there's a lot of small little teasers that have come out since then that I think are worth talking about, so let's do it. So here, we can see one of the hotels in the background, the Halpern Hotel, I believe. So we can see we're on the beach area. One thing to make note of on this beach area is how wide open it is. Some people may point out how empty it is, because it is kind of empty, but it also is very open. So hopefully a lot of the other areas are open as well. Although, I will admit this is the perfect beach to have a Doom buggy on. If only we had a Doom buggy for this beach, though. Maybe DLC. Okay, so going back. Looking at here, we can see some of the scenery from a distance. We can see some of the California downtown scenery from a distance, and it looks absolutely sick. I love it. I love how vibrant it is. It's not as dead as I thought it would look, but we actually don't know how long this takes place into the apocalypse, and none of this is probably infected either. This is probably outside of the quarantine zone. And Hell A is the LA, like the hell of LA, for example. So I don't think all of LA is going to be infected. It's probably just going to be small parts of Hell A, which is why we won't be able to explore all of LA. But I don't know. Time will tell. I can sit there and think about it, but we do not know. We have another angle here showing the military quarantine zone from the side, in another military zombie. Oh, not another military zombie. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. So a Venice Beach zombie of some sort. One thing to notice is the cars here actually are kind of deep in the sand. So maybe this is taking place into the downfall of LA longer than we may think. I do not know. Here we can see a grenader zombie, which can be found on the Dead Island 2 website. These dudes, if you shoot the grenade or hit them, you can probably blow them up in some way. So don't want to activate those grenades too closely. The slobber is shown here, which looks nice, slobbing and puking on the playable character. Love it. Don't really. But if you want to, you can puke back. So there you go. You have that skill as a card. So yeah, the slobbers, you can get their own ability, or you can just have them puke on you. It's up to you, I guess. The cleaver hit looks gross in a good way. Look at the tissue on the blade. Yeah, the way the tissue... Here, let's go back and look at the analysis of that. The way the cleaver hits the zombies, you can see... Not the cleaver, like, just... Okay, let me rephrase that. The way the cleaver hits the zombies, you can see, like, the skin flabbing onto the cleaver. So it's not like the hit just, like... The cleaver doesn't go through the zombie and just impales the skin. And the skin just kind of lays there. The skin actually peels off and kind of, like, lays on the cleaver, which looks absolutely fantastic. And you can see the guts, the blood there. It's a very, very cool-looking cleaver attack. So, yeah, Diego, thank you for pointing that out. That's definitely a nice-looking animation. The gore system in general just looks great. Bro kind of looked like a booger. You talking about this dude? Yeah, this dude kind of does. The more I look at him, the more he does look like a booger. He's spitting his booger juice at you. Gross. Oh man, so yeah, that's all for that trailer. Another trailer which came out quite a long time ago is the Amazon trailer for Dead Island 2, which shows some cinematics at first, showing what's inside the film studio area of LA, which has a slobber in it. As you can see, it's kind of teasing the slobber with the slobber on the thing right there. Pretty cool. Relax. You hear that? You better be relaxing. That's all I gotta say. You better relax. Got the backyard. I can't even call it a backyard. They don't really have backyards in fucking California. But, you know, the back chilling area. It's more of a back pool yard. I think that's a good way to put it. A back pool yard. Because most of the time they have pools. At least from what I've seen. Man, poor guy. Imagine being stuck in the pool like this and you're surrounded by zombies. What a way to go. Here, the thing that we see here, I believe is a cinematic from the story. Or it was specifically made for the trailer. But I think this is going to tie into the beginning of the game somehow. As we can see a wreck of here of some sort. A wreckage. The wreckage here is actually, I believe, a plane. As you can see, the kind of tail end here in the upper part of the footage. The character here, I believe, is probably going to be... I think it's Ryan, actually, in this specific gameplay scenario. But I think it's actually going to be swapped out for whatever character you choose. Is that how it's actually going to be? I don't know. Just an observation. Today, we're just observating. Is that a word? Observating? I don't think that is a word. We're just observing. There you go. Kick back. These guys are the tanker zombies. Basically, if you shoot the tankers on their back, they'll probably blow up in some way. Although we haven't seen too much gameplay of these guys so far, but they are there. They are their own infected in the game. But they're like a very specific type of walker, if I had to guess. Alright, so you can throw a pool cue. So if you want to do that, you can. In here, we have a film. Oh, we got some awards. If I had to guess, this is the studio of a director of some sort, or somebody that has some type of level in the film industry, some high up level, because we can see him some awards to the right there, which looks pretty sick. Yo, Backboard, how you doing? What's up, Kaido? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, we can see this is the house of somebody that's famous and probably a director with all the awards. Maybe Steven Spielberg. Maybe we're visiting the house of Steven Spielberg. Possibilities are up in the air. We do not know. Here we have Ricky. I believe that's his name. This is the character some people compare to Max from Dead Island 2 2015, but he's actually a completely new character. And he has a friend that he hangs out with and drinks and smokes with. And yeah, that's kind of all we know about his personality. And he is struggling to find his pants. That is the most important fact about this dude. He struggles to find his pants. Alright. We can see another weapon here, which looks pretty cool. I do wonder if this is like a military quarantine zone type of weapon. I think it is modified. But it does make me wonder if we can put weapon skins on our weapons. I don't think so. I think that would be a little too extreme and probably a little too unnecessary, to be honest. But it is a possibility that could come. We have another weapon here, which I believe this is like maybe an idle animation, but I also... Here. I think this animation is when you switch weapons, it's basically pulling out the weapon, which shows the electricity on the weapon, and it looks absolutely sick. So the modifications look cool. And also, right here, it definitely looks like an earthquake went through LA, and I'm not going to believe any other excuse, because what else could this be? What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is a earthquake? Do you guys think this is just the apocalypse doing this? People driving their cars trying to escape the city? This created this? It's an earthquake. It's something along those lines. How much content will Dead Island 2 have? I'm worried it will be pretty empty. I think it'll have a good amount of content, although I'm worried the scope will be stuck too much into LA. I'm hoping they kind of go above and beyond, some ways we don't expect. Like, I think the gore system looks impressive, but overall, I don't know, it's kind of iffy. It's kind of iffy. So yeah, we can see a earthquake type of thing right here with a weapon modification showing the animation of him pulling it out, which looks pretty cool. How many people can be in a game session total? 3. It's confirmed 3 players, and 3 people can be in one game session at once. 3 total. Next up, the clip we see here... Okay. The clip we see here is like a story moment of some sort. I think we see a story moment of some sort right here where you're kind of just busting through the door, throwing that zombie back. Not sure what type of scenario this could be. Although, it would be very, very cool if zombies can break down the doors like Dead Island 2 2015, and you could slam into the door, throwing them back. But the way the zombie flies back in this specific scenario does kind of make me think it's for story purposes. But hey, let me know your thoughts down below. That's why we're here, right? Share your thoughts and I'll discuss them. Got some drop kick gameplay in this construction area of some sort. This is one area we haven't actually seen too much, but it's like a construction area, which looks very, very cool. Although I think we've seen inside of this building, which can be seen in the Game Informer footage. Nice shirt, by the way. Thank you, appreciate it. I originally had something else on, but it didn't work too well with my green screen. Like, my green screen isn't perfect, but, you know, it does the job. It doesn't look terrible, you know. It does the job. Alright, the whole gore thing will be there. Dead Island kind of sucks, which cut arms and legs off while they are alive. Yes, I don't think we can cut arms and legs off while the zombies are still alive, but I think it is a possibility that does make sense for how next-gen the gore system seems. We're in the backyard, or we're in like a film studio of some sort, as you can see by the lights here. The paint was probably supposed to represent blood, so maybe they're here in like a movie set, is my guess, of like a horror movie, a zombie movie. Maybe a Call of the Dead type of scenario where they're filming a zombie movie and the apocalypse happens. That would be kind of neat. Also, that's probably my favorite zombie map ever in any Call of Duty zombie game. Call of the Dead. Absolutely love it. George Romero, rest in peace. Also, I want to hear your thoughts about what do I think is going to be better, Dead Island 2 or Dying Light 2? Well, one game has released. One game hasn't. It's really, really hard to make this argument, and it's why I haven't made a video comparing both Dead Island 2 and Dying Light 2 yet, because they're two games very much doing their own things, and I think that's something a lot of people need to think about. And one game has released, one game hasn't, so it's really hard to kind of come to any conclusions about which game will be better, because one game's out, one game launched and was kind of a mess, but is eventually really building and listening to the community, which is Dying Light 2, and then you have the other game, which is Dead Island 2, which is very, very cool. They're getting there, they're marketing, and they're moving along. But we haven't seen too much raw gameplay, too much gameplay yet, to really set in stone what type of game this is going to fully be and how this game will play. So I think we really need to give it some more time, wait till some more gameplay is out. Maybe I'll make that comparison, but I think I'm going to wait to make a video of Dying Light 2 versus Dead Island 2 when the game is out. Because right now, there's really not too much to fully compare besides the environments. I think we need to give it some time, but the time will come for that video. The video will arise. Okay. Yo, flare gun a bit back in that trailer. Oh, really? This is a revolver. Wait, is that a flare gun? Bruh, pause, Ty. What are you doing? Yeah, that's a revolver of some sort. I can see why I think that's a flare gun, but it's a revolver, I believe. It's a pretty cool looking revolver, though. Unless that is a flare gun and I'm just tripping. It's definitely unique. I like it. Alright, new subscriber, awesome channel, man. Thank you, Immortal Music. I really appreciate the support. I don't stream often, but I think every Thursday I'm gonna keep up streaming. I'm very satisfied with streaming recently, and I'm liking being able to just be more genuine and just talk to you guys. Most of the time, I'm just making videos, just reading a script, and that's it. I call it a day. But actually being able to talk to you all it's nice. It's refreshing for a content creator that just did scripting videos for 10 years. More like 8 years, but almost 10. It's been a long time I've been doing this. But yeah, 6 shooter. It's pretty sweet. We have an explosion in the downtown area. It's really too blurry to get any good gameplay of it. Sure. But you can see it's just the truck that blows up. We can see this guy here in the film studio with a revolver. We got some of the Venice Beach, Muscle Beach guys coming at us with some graffiti there. This dude we haven't really seen too much. He's got like a Yellow Jackets jersey on. Pretty neat. I like the Venice Beach, Muscle Beach area. I went there a couple of years ago, so it's kind of neat seeing it come to life. Bro, you are the king of Riz. I'll never do that again. You're welcome. We got a modded weapon right here, which looks pretty cool. Got some of the downtown area, which is very nice. Got some of the Bel Air, King of Bel Air area, some of the Hollywood Hills mansion exploration type stuff, so you can probably explore a lot of the mansions in this area, if I had to guess. Lies. I do not believe ya. JM, Game Informer's posting more raw gameplay. I'm not taking the bait. I'm not taking the bait. On their channel, Game Informer moved on to Resident Evil 4. Why would they? Yeah, Game Informer moved on to Resident Evil 4. I don't think they would make a new video, unless you're talking about the one discussing the flesh system, which I already talked about. Yeah, we can see some of the modded weapons here, which look very cool. Love it. We have a rifle here, and I think it does go to show some of the more... Yeah, good try, JM. I'm used to the bait. Even when I'm streaming, I don't stream often, but I know not to fall for the bait. Good try. Alright. The rifle here. I'm on top of my news, alright? I know what I'm doing when it comes to this stuff. You're not gonna bait me. I know every piece of gameplay that drops, alright? Unless I'm out of town, I know. Alright, so we got the rifle here, showing more of the gun variety. So we have SMGs, we have pistols, multiple types of pistols. We have rifles, multiple types of rifles. SMGs, I already said that. You know, a rifle. I think the gun variety is actually very much there. And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I like it. Diego got baited. Some people got baited. Got baited. I gotta make some emotes for the future if this works up well, you know? Gotta figure out some faces that people will remember me for. I gotta figure out the thumbnail faces, too. The troll face, you know? Yeah. Whatever, man. We also see the Screamer here, and one reason why I think zombies could come from the Screamer scream is because of this animation, which shows runners running at the player. It's definitely a good example. Also more Crusher gameplay in the Venice Beach area. So a lot of shenanigans are going to be happening in Venice Beach. I would say that's the area that we've seen the most and probably has the most variety in terms of zombies in one area at once. Yo, it actually did. JM, you're probably talking about the flesh analysis gameplay that came out a couple days ago. I see. It seems you're a little behind on your news. You might want to stay updated and subscribe if you haven't already. I cover every bit of news on this channel. Mostly every bit of news. I'm trying to think of some things I haven't really talked too much on that's like big pieces of info that have come out. So yeah, I've stayed up to date on most things. Here we can see Sam B in action. like I pointed out in my last breakdown video, showing more. Yo, get on PS4, Dead Island demo just dropped. Wow, don't you think? Wow. No, fuck. Don't be silly. We can see NPCs can fight along with us. I talked about that in my last analysis video. Another cool area that we haven't seen much of is this stage area. You can see the zombie going for the ride or the flight of a lifetime pretty much. But it also shows some of these shops in the background. Oh, the footage is reversed. Oh, I didn't notice that. I didn't do this. This was maybe the person that uploaded it, or like Deep Silver or Dambuster that did this, but I did not do this. The footage was reversed when I downloaded it. So we can see a museum, or no, Muscle Beach, duh. Oh. I can't read backwards, ugh, tripping. Muscle Beach in the background, which is pretty cool. We can see a lot of the workout stuff, some of the signs for it, and yeah, so it's cool to see more of the Muscle Beach. We haven't really seen much of this area yet, but it's pretty cool. Bro, I wish I could watch your stream, but I have school. Well, JM, this is actually going to be turned into a video, so feel free to come check out the highlights when it's uploaded, maybe tomorrow or the day after. So yeah, come check the highlights out if you want to. Who is... Ha. I was actually a second from reading it until I remembered the meme. The meme's a little old. Yeah, I remember the Phineas and Ferb meme. You know what I'm talking about. Devil Fruit said it in the chat if you want to know what I mean. Know what I mean. Alright. We can see the background of the back area, the pool yard, as I say it, of somebody's house. And I think the smoke here is... from the Grenader zombies. Let's check. Yep. So they may have not been the smoke that was in the other gameplay, but some of the smoke that you can see comes from the Grenader zombies. Interesting. Okay, weird. Ignore that. Butcher arm launcher. Can we customize the arms of the butcher? Like, can we get our own butcher arms? I don't know. If that is an ability, I think that could be absolutely sick. Imagine a Fury mode running around and just stabbing zombies with your butcher arms. Absolutely badass if that's a thing they're gonna do. Honestly, though, with all the other zombies getting their own abilities in the skill deck cards that playable characters and, you know, you can use, it's a possibility that you can get butcher arms. I would love to hope so. Will there be a VR version of this game? Nope. Very unlikely. There is an AR version of this game, though. Well, I did a video on that. Go check the video out if you didn't already. But no, there won't be a VR version. But there is like a weird mobile website AR version that you can mess around with for 10 seconds, and that's kind of really it. I wonder if there'll be friendly fire. I don't know. So you can see we're being attacked by a grabber zombie of some sort, which... Oh no, my phone died. Oh man, now I can't see chat. Uh-oh. Okay, now I can see chat. Alright. Well, okay. I guess I'll have to figure that out later. Okay, so we can see a grabber right here grabbing us, throwing us to the side. Gladly not puking on us this time around. This area is one I'm so excited to explore as somebody, you know, the channel's called BackBoardFilms, but as somebody that is into the art of film and that whole genre and filmmaking in general, it's very cool to see inside of a film studio an apocalyptic light like this. You know, you got your green screens, got your lighting, your very expensive lighting, by the way. This lighting right here was expensive as fuck, and that was small compared to this thing right here on screen. So yeah, it's very cool seeing the idea of Hollywood being shown in a different light. I love it, honestly. It's very cool. What's actually being shown here, though, is the player going into Fury mode, Jacob to be specific. We can see one of the posters here in the filming in we're leaving the filming in progress. So leaving the filming in progress area. Quiet on set, please. Love it. We can see a Space Fox poster. There's going to be a lot of parody posters that you can find in Dead Island 2. Rather, it's like a Kill Bill parody. or a Dawn of the Dead parody. There's going to be a lot of different parody posters that you can find, which, as to be expected, you know, there's posters all over Hollywood because it's like the town of where, you know, movies. You know, this is partly where movies come from. So it's got a lot of history to it that I'm excited to see represented. Ty, what are your thoughts on Slayers? I think Slayers are cool. I'm not going to talk about too much because I have a whole video about it coming out very, very soon, tomorrow or the next day, talking about why Slayers and the whole idea of 6 playable characters is very, very cool, and I wish we saw it took advantage of in more games. But yeah, I think it's just very, very cool. I'll leave it at that for now. Ty can film higher budget films because now he has the access to a film studio. I have the access to a film studio in Dead Island 2. That's sure. That's definitely there. I guess if I want to film in a bedroom or a very, very bright orange room. Wow, that is a very hideous orange room. Wow. That's as bright as a pumpkin. I don't know what they're filming there. Maybe the next season of Seinfeld coming back. I don't know, man. Don't know. I don't know, man. Seinfeld basically already did come back and went away with the whole AI thing, which was kind of hilarious in its own. If you guys don't know, there was an AI that had like Seinfeld, like a whole AI version of Seinfeld that was made, and basically it was running for a couple days but got taken down because it says some transphobic things. So yeah, you can see it wasn't exactly generating the greatest words from the internet from their whole AI technology. So yeah, leave it at that. We can see Butcho the Clown here, looking as beautiful as ever. Coming to give us a little stabbing. Alright. So I said I was going to take a look at the Dead Island 2 website. So let's do that. Thanks for stopping by, dummy. I really greatly appreciate it. I'm glad so many of you have been able to come by and chill and just, you know, have a relaxed stream. I don't normally stream, but I'm very much looking forward to streaming more often. Alright. Let's make this more full screen, eh? Make this more full screen. Boom, there you go. Now we can actually see. Alright, so we can see the new Slayer that got revealed here is Carla. I'll just show some of the other things on the website, though. So last time I took a look at this page on stream, we actually saw the Inferno Crusher, Spiky Runner, and the Grenader Zombie got their own descriptions on the website. Definitely check out this website if you want. It's very, very cool. But we can see Carla, whose skill card isn't loading in, also got revealed as well, which looks pretty awesome. Carla is a motorcycle stunt rider unfazed by rings of fire, jumps over ravines, and mid-air flips, so the zompocalypse has barely made her break a sweat. Very, very cool. But the one thing that I wanted to show you here, besides the cosplay stuff, I guess if you wanted to cosplay as Carla, like any of the other characters, you can. Yeah, it's kind of funny that it took an AI 3 days to become transphobic. Yeah, it is pretty funny. Alright, here we go. So on the entire Dead Island 2 website, for those that don't know, they also have like an entire card system of these for all of the playable characters that shows what you can look like if you wanted to, you know, be these characters or if you wanted to cosplay as them. I have a feeling they're going to do a cosplay contest of some sort, but I don't know. A cosplay contest of some sort could come in the future with them even making these guys to begin with, but one thing to point out is the logo on her shirt. It looks like a Detroit logo, which is definitely interesting. As I may or may not live kind of near Detroit. Yeah. Oh yeah, we already took a look at this. That was the new gameplay. But this is actually new. Here, let's go full screen. I've seen some people call these animations kind of silly or unnecessary, or feel like they should be pointing their attention in the marketing department to something else, but honestly, I think they're kind of fun. I think it gives a good way to kind of care for each of the playable characters, And the website in general is very well sorted. You know, you have your zombies, you have your slayers. It's very nice for somebody that wants to just learn some quick information to just jump on here and just see some new characters and just see some new things. And I think the animations are a very nice way to bring in a different audience, I feel like. I think it kind of fits in with the tone they're kind of going for with the whole Hollywood, over-exaggerated Hollywood aesthetic. At least that's what I think. Just check, the revolver has a 3-round magazine. Interesting. Interesting. Maybe it's kind of like their solution to the deagle. Instead of like a Desert Eagle, they're going to give you a super strong revolver. I can see that being a possibility. And yeah. Nothing else too much new. I never made a video about the Alexa stuff, but I talked about it in my last stream, which made it into the highlights video. So pretty much, go check out that if you want to see more of what that's about. Hey, welcome to the stream. Got the face cam on today. Normally don't do ever face cam, but you know what? For today, let's see. It's annoying having to have all these bright lights shining into my eyes, being absolutely crippled. But I should probably get used to it if I'm going to continue streaming more often when Dead Island 2 releases. So yeah, I am going to get used to it eventually. So yeah, there's the Dead Island 2 website. I'm going to come through, refresh this, see if anybody left any more comments. I did say I was going to come back and look. Okay. Will you review Walking Dead Saints and Sinners? Is that the VR game? If it's the VR game, then yeah, I probably will. Because I played the first one when I first got my Oculus Quest half a year ago. And it was fantastic. I really, really liked it. It's the best VR zombie game that's out there. Easily. At least that's what I think. No, my desktop. No. Whatever, man. My desktop's a fucking mess. I don't really care, though. I gotta organize it. I've been meaning to do that the past couple days. But just so much going on in life recently. Alright, though. I don't know what else to talk about, fellas. The last time I ended up just playing Escape Dead Island, and I already beat the game in a video, and so I don't know what else to do now. I guess we could analyze something else? What else is there to analyze? I mean, we really did analyze a lot of the gameplay from last time. I guess I could analyze this other Game Informer footage. Have you seen the variants post? The variants post is something that's basically the zombies that are already on the Dead Island 2 website, which I just spoke about. So, no reason to really take a look at it, but yes, I did see it. And I actually commented on it too. One thing that somebody pointed out to me is that you can actually see the names of some of the characters in here, confirming more that Sam B is returning in Dead Island 2, because it says Sam B right there. But I assume this is one of these safe hubs that you'll be able to find, and one of the beginning safe hubs, if I had to guess. You got Elizabeth there. I think we're on... Yeah, we're in the Bel Air type area, which looks pretty cool, I know this has nothing to do with Dead Island 2, but I still get the Rise Alpha from the event Dead Island 2, even though I didn't complete personal objective. Weird. I haven't played Dead Island or Dying Light 2 in a little bit, even after the new announcements, so I've been meaning to check that stuff out. And I will. I'll make a video getting back into Dying Light 2 eventually. Can we be friends? Yes. Yes, we can be friends, of course. Everybody here, we can be friends. Glorious friendships. This is probably Emma Jauntz. I don't know how to say her last name. I'm going to assume it's Jauntz. Emma Jauntz Mansion. Yep. Emma Jauntz is one of the big actors that you'll be with in Dead Island 2. Big fake made-up actors, of course. No made... You know what? The more I do think about it, though, the more I feel like we'll actually get some cameos from some... Oh, what did I say there? God. The more I do... Oh, man. You know, when you get those breaks in your voice, you know it's time for a water break. What do you think about the variants they posted? The variants looked very, very cool. Very, very sick. I like that they're doing variants. But, yeah. Emma Jaunt is probably going to be one of the made-up celebrities for Dead Island 2, but I actually expect that we'll get some real celebrity cameos in the game as well. It makes sense with the game taking place in California, in Hollywood, in LA, which is one of the hotspots for celebrities to live in, that you'll likely get some celebrity cameos of some sort. I couldn't do the event because my game kept crashing once I got to the central limb. Oh, that's a shame. Sorry it was like that. Alright. Here's another example of some duplicate zombies. Hopefully it won't be at least this close. Like, I don't want duplicate zombies right next to each other. See, listen, if there's a group of zombies and there's duplicate zombies just chilling and, like, they're not next to each other, right next to each other, I think I'll be okay with it. But if the zombies are seriously just there like this constantly, it's going to be a little annoying. But that could just be a personal complaint. But yeah, this was kind of the gameplay where we kind of felt the hit animations just didn't look right. At least just looked kind of off. Yeah, it just looks a little weird. One thing, this is something that I don't know if you guys would be interested in. I'll reveal it in the future. Never mind. I'll leave it at that. This is something more long-term. But oh yes, this is maimed. They say a lot of these words on screen that I do hope can be turned off by turning off the HUD. So if we can't turn off the HUD, I do think that's kind of a missed opportunity, unfortunately. And as much as I don't want to think about missed opportunities, you know, we are here to talk about some of the unfortunate possibilities with Dead Island 2 and the concerns and issues we have. After the duplicate zombies, I feel like see the old guy with the rifle atop the stairs. Yep. This is I meant to point this out actually in a video, but I never did. You can see here, we see this guy in the reveal trailer for Dead Island 2, and the Hell A trailer, I believe, as well. Although I don't think he's in the Hell A trailer. But we can see in one of the challenge arena areas, we can see the old dude with the rifle up there, just kind of chilling, just vibing, watching us, as he can't get down the stairs, really, because, you know, no stairs left to go down. So he's just going to watch us, he's just going to spectate as we sit there and clear out this mansion. Why he's spectating, I don't know. Hopefully he's actually using that nice rifle of his up there, not just watching us slaughtering, and hopefully not get slaughtered on our own. One of the popular people in this game is one of the popular people. Okay. Do you think other main characters from Dead Island 1 will return? Yes, I do think so. I very much do think so. Do I think it's going to be right at the beginning? No. Game Informer, I believe they did say in their coverage of the game, you know, I guess I could just read and figure it out, since I now have the thing physically right in front of me. But I actually do not know if they said if any other returning characters were there that they found. But I believe, I can't say for certain, I think they just said Sam B. It was just there during their entire playthrough. Unfortunately, because I do want other characters to return as well. But I do think Sam B is the only character that has confirmed to return in the first kind of section of the game that, you know, Game Informer played. That's very, very weird. Here's another example of the hit animations being kind of weird. How when he goes to throw the hit attack on the zombie, it actually throws this zombie to the right here, not where it should go. Maybe this is the blast reaction from the electricity. I've thought about that as a possibility. But you can see just the blast and the blurriness here. It definitely should not fling the zombie to their left. At least that's what I think. So yeah, another example of the hit reactions looking a little weird. Flinging the zombie to the left there. It's left. Oh, yeah. Here, let's show some of the parody posters. In the background, you can see a parody poster for Kill Bill, which is Kill Kill with Amy on the cover, doing a little stance there, replicating one of the posters for Kill Bill. Another poster here is a poster. Another thing here is actually a poster for Dawn of the Dead, which I think says aim at the head, I believe. Don't quote me on that though, but it's pretty sick looking. I actually think they'll probably put some of these, well, I was going to say they would probably put some of these on their website, but I don't think you can legally sell parody posters like this. At least I think so. I don't know what it comes to fair use when it comes to selling like posters and parody stuff and all that. Not really sure. Don't know the legality of it, but it's pretty cool. Here's a better look at it. Yeah, aim for the head. Sweet. Sweet Dawn of the Dead parody poster. Yeah, the blast hit the zombie to the right, their left. Definitely a little weird. I'm hoping it's not limited to just LA and future DLC. It would be cool to see other parts of California. Yeah, they do very much set in stone the idea that I think it is limited to just Hell A, even with the DLC expansion pass. They have like a little description for the expansion pass, and they basically say, in Hell A, and like very specifically, in Hell A. So, even in DLCs, I don't think we'll be going outside of Hell A anytime soon. But there's a lot of possibilities in Hell A they could do. They can do a theme park, a Disneyland type recreation. Or they can do, I don't know, there's a number of things they can do. I do think with the Santa Monica Pier, though, and the whole Butcher the Clown theme park area, I think if they did go ahead and do a theme park, kind of takes away from that area a little bit. So I'm kind of hoping they do something more unique than a theme park, but I think the idea is cool. But I think we're kind of already getting that with the Santa Monica Pier. At least that's what I think. One thing that's interesting is you can see the reaction of the environments in many, many interesting ways. For example, when the character goes to attack the Shambler here, you can see the glass to the right shatter by impact, which the glass effects look very, very nice. You can see them laying on the ground there, stacking on top of each other, which I think the stack glassing stuff is a very, very cool looking thing. We don't see nice glass effects in games a lot, I feel like, so it's very, very cool to finally see some nice glass stuff featured. Gotta love my AAA glass. Gotta love my AAA glass mechanics, am I right? Hope there are explorable buildings. Oh yeah, we're in an explorable building right now. I think there's actually going to be a ton. Have you ever touched grass? You can come to that conclusion for yourself. Yes. What a silly question to ask. But yeah, the glass effects look very, very nice. I think the way that it impacts the zombie and shatters the glass is a little weird. I don't think that's very realistic, but like I said, they're going for the very arcadey effect. So I think every time, from what I've seen, every time you hit a zombie, it creates a burst air and impacts the environment around. So for example, if I hit a zombie, it's going to throw a box right next to the zombie. It's a little weird, but it's definitely there. Let me show another example of it. Actually, it's in the same gameplay clip. So here's another good example. When you hit the zombie here, the pillow is going to fall on the ground. My dog just sounded like she puked. Okay. Are you okay? Are you okay? She good. That was concerning. Okay. Back to it. So, for example, when the character goes to hit this zombie, you can see the pillow fall on the ground, showing more of the environmental impact. Although, I find it a little weird how the pillow just kind of sits up. Definitely, maybe not the most realistic thing there, but you can see it's actually, the environment is impacted. So I assume, let's go back. So I assume this box will probably be able to be moved by the player's reactions. And there you go. There shows the best example so far of how the weapon hitting on zombies actually flings zombies and the environment around. Which, like I said, adds a cartoony flair to the game, but I think it's nice. It shows that the environment can move around, and I think it shows a lot of coolness, and maybe it might piss some people off, but I think it's just cool for the general sense of impact in the environment. I think it's cool. So yeah, we can move the boxes around and fling that back just by not even hitting the boxes, but by the attacks of our weapons. So yes, you can throw weapons. Some people were wondering that. You can throw weapons. That footage again. Let's look at the background here. Let's take a second to peek at actually what's being shown here. Alright, just looks like a simple mansion to me. Those are hideous couches, though. If there's one thing that I have to make a general observation of, those are some hideous couches. Oh, boys, come here. You want to be on stream? Come on. Want to be on stream? Oh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick you up enough to get you on stream. Oh, come here, come on. Okay. All right, here's my doggo. She's now officially canon in the BackBoardFilms lore. How you doing? All right. Oh, I guess. All right. Now you guys can see my doggo. Her name's Bumble. Yeah, she's doing. All right. You want to not smack the table, please? You want to not smack the table? It's a very gory room. Skip past that. Oh, we can see a collectible of some sort to the side there. Thank you for the kiss. I appreciate it. I have 44 snakes. Holy cow. Jeez. All right, you want to get down? You good? Are you comfy? Are you comfy? I think she's comfy. I can't tell if she's comfy. Okay. What are you doing? Okay. I'll take you outside. I'll take you outside. I'll take you outside after. After. Okay? All right. There's a cameo for my doggo. There you go. There you go. Okay. All right. Back to it. What is that you can pick up there? Oh, that looks like bandages. So you can see in this gameplay clip, there's bandages. My head's covering it. You can see in this gameplay clip, there's bandages. Right here. You guys can pick that up. I pointed this out before, but the hit reaction on the zombie looks very, very weird. The zombie should go down, not fly up. So the way the physics are working there are definitely something to be maybe a little concerned about for somebody that wants something more realistic. But if you're assuming it's going to be cartoony and arcadey and definitely silly, I think you're going to be okay. Let's see. What does it say at the end there? Oh, we're definitely in the Bel Air area, for those wondering. There's like a garden area that way. Watch that dude beat up a watermelon. Very nice. Head stomp. Looks beautiful. I have to say, the environments in general are actually very, very nice looking. For not being an Unreal Engine 5 game, it's actually quite good. Quite good. I like what I see. I have the ultimate weapon. That's awesome. I have 1 turtle, 1 dog, 2 cats, 1 bird, 1 rabbit, and I used to have a fish and another. Oh, okay. Is there going to be driving in this game? No, there is not going to be driving. Okay. So if you guys want to compare animals, I used to have peacocks. I used to have chickens. I still have a snake. I have, it depends on what side of the family we're talking about, but I have 1 dog. I have 4 cats. I used to have a 4-foot-long lizard, a black throat monitor. His tail was just like a whip. Absolutely insane. Maybe I'll show him on stream one day. And yeah, I think that's a tarantula. I had a tarantula as well at 1.2. I had a lot of animals in my lifetime. I've lived through the zoo life, that's for sure. That's for sure. Can you put the romance comment in the highlights video? The world needs to know the truth about the butcher. Plus, I want to show my friends I made a cool content creator laugh. Alright, if I definitely remember that, I'll be sure to. I'm gonna include a lot of what's been talked about here. It's going to probably turn into 2 videos. I'll have 1 video focusing on the community's concerns. I'll have another video being another breakdown, and so on. Gotta love the impact on clothing. It's so impressive. Even though there may not be a ton of variety in the clothing design for the zombies from what we've seen, I do think the impact on the clothing on its own is very, very impressive and going to make actually killing the zombies a lot more fun. I have a 20-foot snake with me. Jeez. I'll feature my snake on stream one day. It's a ball python. His name's Banana. Looks like a banana. I hated the driving sections in Dead Island 1. Respectable. Respectable. What's that dude juggling? Oh, okay. Rubber bands. Ah, yes, the good old days of making rubber band balls. We got some more gameplay of some runners right here. Showing the colliding kind of looks maybe a little bit weird. Like, they don't react with each other like they should. You can see the hands kind of going through the zombie a little bit, and it's nothing to be too concerned about. I actually think having two models and two completely different animations interacting is very, very difficult to get right. So I think that's something that, even if it's not perfect in the long run, I think that's cool. That's pasta? Was that actually pasta? Oh yeah, they're messing with food. That's totally pasta. Yeah. Yeah. I keep spacing out when I'm looking past that part because I'm trying to focus on the gameplay. But yeah, they're messing around with food. You're right, it's pasta. It does look like a ball of rubber bands, though. Funny. Okay. The bowling alley looks awesome. Very, very sick. Oh yeah, you can see the zombie glitching out into the ground there. That's a weird complaint. So you can see the ragdolls maybe sometimes after the zombies die aren't perfect, but I think that's something that can definitely be adjusted. Alright, we're getting towards the end here, because I'm running out of things to slowly talk about. This weapon's pretty cool. It's like a spear of some sort. Okay, we got some story details to dive into, because my brain is full. Yep, banana is ball python, yep. Alright, one of the last things I want to point out. So, in the story mission, in the top right, as you can see a lot of the objectives and things we're going to be doing in this game, and one of them is going to be sending our blood off to a scientist. So, one of the main overarching goals of this game is getting your blood, putting it into a blood drive, or retrieving the blood drive first. We don't really know the order of things yet. We kind of just know the long-term goal, and it's a lot like the first game, which is to get your blood to somebody that can hopefully make a cure. Show us your Chad face. Oh, man, alright. So, yeah, we got some more information. If you look in the top right of certain Game Informer footage, you can see more story information for those that want to see it. I'm not going to sit there and constantly point it out, but it is there. One of the reasons why I think the idea of a theme park for Dead Island 2 DLC is kind of a little unnecessary and a little silly even is because they already have a theme park right here, which is the Butcher the Clown Park. I don't know what it's exactly called. I keep trying to zoom in on it, but it's a little too blurry with the pink light pointing at it, but there's more gameplay of it. But yes, there already is a theme park in Dead Island 2 that's going to be coming, which is on the Santa Monica Pier. So the idea of them having another theme park, maybe them more diving into it with like roller coasters and stuff, could be cool. Imagine killing zombies on a roller coaster. It just seems a little, I don't know, man. We already have it in the game, so why would you make another DLC on it? Is kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, here, let's go to the pre-order trailer. Hey bro, imagine drag. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. But yes, we already have the entrance into the park kind of already here. Kind of goes by a little bit quick though, so I'm gonna have to pause it at the right minute. Okay, it's called Ocean Park. So we have confirmation. It is called the Ocean Park on the pier, which looks a little destroyed walking into there. Interesting. We can also see a pistol here, showing one of the many more pistols we can get in this game. Austin, thank you for the $5. I greatly appreciate it. Love the game and appreciate your coverage on it. What do you think of the weapon variety in comparison to the older games? As I just pointed out, there's a pistol here, and I think the weapon variety actually looks very, very nice. I think they have more guns already here than in the first game. I think the melee weapons look very, very cool. I think modifying the melee weapons and even modifying the guns, you can add like an electricity modification to guns. So modifying the weapons, I think, is really going to switch things up, and I hope there's a lot of modifications to make there a lot of replayability and a lot of things to really help the longevity of the game. Because we got to think about the more weapons, the more things people have to grind for, the more it's going to make the longevity of the game last longer, and the more there's going to constantly be an audience that's there. So hopefully, there's a lot of content in this game, and it's not just super bare bones, and they're showing all the best things. I'm hoping there's a lot of cool set pieces and a lot of things to be excited for that just haven't been revealed. How did the virus get to LA? We do not know. We do not know. But yes, back to this. Interesting. I like this, actually. I like the tone of this area. It's definitely going for that creepier vibe because it's got the Butcher the Clown boss fight implemented into it. Hopefully, and this is really just me hoping for probably too much, but I'm hoping we can get on the roller coaster here, the yellow roller coaster that rides around. If not, missed opportunity. That's all I gotta say. And don't show it in the trailer either. I want that to be a surprise. Don't show it in the trailer either. That deserves to be a surprise. Oh yeah, the weapon here is actually Sam B's weapon. I forgot about that. So if you pre-order, I believe this is the exclusive Sam B weapon that you get, which is pretty cool looking. We don't even know if it's the same virus. Yeah, exactly. Do you think Sam B brought the virus to LA? No, because he's the immune one, so it wouldn't really make sense. If anything, it makes more sense for Yorema. I believe that's her name. One of the jungle folk from the original Dead Island game that you end up being with in the very end, and end up is taken with Karen. I don't think you end up ever learning what happens to her. Although I never beat Riptide, so I don't know exactly where that storyline fully goes. Don't know. We do know about this mission in the Santa Monica Pier. You have to turn these on, so it's there's something you have to do with these. To the extent of it, we don't really know. Although, I'm trying to see if there's like an open gate here, so you can actually walk up into it, and I don't know. To me, the gate here looks kind of closed, so I'm kind of like concluding that you can't get into this, but I'm hoping. I'm holding out hope. A very red area. I like it. Oh, see, this is where it starts to get a little bit more creepy within the park. You got the creepy clown signs, right, taking you to Butcher the Clown. Currently, my favorite character is Jacob. I love how he looks. In the magazine received from Dan Buster, did it say anything about Night Cycle? I don't believe it did. Although, I'll go back. Because I think I did... Because I've actually read this before. I've read the digital version of this. Oh. We have confirmation, ladies and gentlemen, from the thing. We have confirmation, ladies and gentlemen. Dead Island 2 locations feature both day and night variants, and places like Santa Monica Pier become especially terrifying at night. So how I'm looking at that is that there's going to be day and night areas for many of the main locations. So, for example, you get the very vibrant downtown area. You can explore that day and night. Are you going to be able to see a day and night cycle? No. That, I think, is completely confirmed to not be in the game, and I'm glad we kind of got that out of the way. Thank you for letting me... for bringing that up. Yeah. Well, that was pretty easy to find. It looks like I'm going to have to make a video on what's in here. I've read most of it. Surprisingly, I didn't remember that, though, so maybe I do need to check that out. Alright, love the creepy area. The weapon here is very, very cool. Abula's Ashes Mace. This whole area in itself, I can't wait to explore. This is one of these areas that just looks super vibrant, super cool. Kind of reminds me of Call of Duty Zombies in Spaceland a little bit. Gives me those Zombies in Spaceland Call of Duty feels from the vibes of it all. Even in that game, you can play the arcade machines and all of that stuff, so I'm really hoping they bring that back as a minigame. Also here's an example of what things look like. Oh God. Here's an example of what things look like at night. And here's an example of what things look like in the day. So you kind of can see there's two very different variants for many of these locations, and there might be 2, 3, 4. There might be weather variants, like there might be a variant where it's day, foggy, and raining. Or there might be a variant where it's just night and it's snowing. I don't know. It doesn't really snow in California, at least from what I've seen. So, you know, there's many possibilities, but I don't think we're going to have, like, day and night systems like you would see in, like, games like Dying Light, unfortunately. But, hey, to each their own. I think this could be seen as a pro and con. It just depends. Downloading again so I can replay one in Riptide in preparation. Haha. Bro, I have that cut. Yep. Got some gameplay from Venice Beach, which looks nice. We got that pizzeria going on. Looks very, very cool. It's more stuff we've already seen before, besides Under the Pier, I would say. I would say Under the Pier we haven't really seen much. It's actually pretty interesting. I remember your OG vids. Yeah, my videos have taken quite the transition. Started with a Dying Light roleplay. I mean, I guess if you go back far enough, it started with Lego stop motion videos. Then when this channel was made, it went to a Dying Light roleplay, the Dying Light 2 coverage, now all the way to Dead Island 2 coverage. So here we are. Time flies. So yeah, Under the Pier looks pretty cool. We have a nurse zombie to the right here, which I think is a screamer. I believe I've heard somebody say that before. Mike offline, I'm getting onto the bus to go home. No worries. I appreciate you stopping by. It's greatly appreciated. Oh, you're right. Also, Burger 66 at Ocean Park. Seems like Burger 66 will be a restaurant chain across all of LA. Yep. Oh, yep. It's not out here, but... Yep, not out here, but there is a place that's called Burger 66. It's actually... There's a place that's called Burger 66 that's actually featured in here. With Amy there. Pretty neato. Yeah. Alright. So there's going to be many types of California-style buildings. You got the tattoo shop, you got the bowling alley, and that's not just California-specific, but there's a lot of buildings that are going to be very California-oriented. Like a lot of the celebrity buildings. For example, you got this building here, which is like the star room for one of the characters, the dressing room. Originally, in one of the trailers, it says Emma Jaunt right here. But they actually took it out for the pre-order trailer for some reason. And Emma Jaunt is actually the character in the white shirt to the right. We see us talking to her. We see us talking to her with Sam B at some points. And she's actually one of the main celebrity characters that you'll be with in Dead Island 2. Made up celebrity, but a character to get to know and play with. Not play with, like, you know what I mean. Not as, but play with, So yeah, so weird they would remove that from the whiteboard for the trailer. But in one of the trailers it says Emma Jaunt. I think seeing as Emma Jaunt is kind of met in the earlier sections of the game, I assume we'll be able to meet Sam B pretty on as well. How many characters can you play as? So far, I've only seen the British punk do. There's 6 characters. Yep. Don't know why I held up a 2. I was getting to the 6. All right. Just gotta give me a second. All right. Amy collectible. Sick. Sick. I guess I'll show you more of what Emma looks like. I guess. There you go. We haven't seen too many story scenes, but this is definitely one of them. One of the more up-close and personal ones, I would say, with us having a conversation with Emma. I'm trying to find the dude. Oh, there's that guy. We see him in some of the Game Informer gameplay. Okay, there we go. Well, there's this part too. See Sam B here. They're all associated together. So I think the mansion that's actually in the Game Informer footage that we can see ourselves running around in is actually Emma Jaunt's mansion, which is, I think, what makes the most sense. But yeah, let's check out this trailer. So this guy right here is Emma Jaunt's existence. This guy right here is Emma Jaunt's assistant, actually. We don't know who the woman to the left is, but we do know this guy is her assistant. So we got some more connecting tissue as to who these characters are going to be on I said almost February, on April 28th, which is pretty neato. We got some story segments here. It kind of just shows when you get bit. I believe this is after the plane crash area. So this is in the prologue, if I had to guess. Shows the Alexa game control thing. All right. All right. Oh, he's puking. Oh, he's about to puke. Oh. I wonder what the context of the scene is, because this dude's about to vomit. So I wonder if we end up, as a playable character, doing something kind of disgusting beforehand. Because they're very much looking at the ground, so it seems like we maybe puked on the ground, puked some blood. I don't know, but I'm very curious as to the context of what this scene is. I showed the gameplay trailer to my dad. He almost vomited. Vomited? Jesus, what am I saying? Vomited. Oh, man. And it's not ironic. He actually was about to vomit. The gore system is definitely rough. It's definitely not family-friendly, to say that. Oh, man. Wait, if Dead Island B survived... We don't know what happened to everybody else besides Sam B. That's still up in the air. We don't know who can be returning. We really don't know. We have some more playable characters right here. Show me more of these safe zones and people will meet across LA. So we have like the restaurant people here with the dude that offers you a joint. We also have this place here, which was confirmed to be in Bel Air. I think this dude, his name is Ricky. I don't remember her name. That was Danielle? I don't know. But we got an area in Bel Air with Ricky and Danielle. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I remember from the articles I've read, because a lot of my information comes from articles. Fingers crossed we get to hear Who Do You Voodoo. If we don't get to hear Who Do You Voodoo in this game with Sam B returning, 0 out of 10 game. 0 out of 10. Cigarettes. Oh, I found ways to get cigarettes. Lucky them. I mean, they're clearly still finding ways to be entertained. They're smoking cigarettes. They're reading. They're playing the piano, you know, entertaining others. So, you know, it's not like civilization is completely lost inside of LA. Even though outside of LA, everything seems to be completely fine with all the lights on that you can see from a distance on the hill. Dead on Riptide. From the audio logs, her parents are in LA. Do you think we'll see them? No idea. I didn't play Riptide much, so I don't really know. Oh yeah, there's that from a different angle. Okay, so this scene happens before the dude loses his head over there. The wife of Ricky is called Roxy. Okay. So in here, we got a pretty busted up house with Ricky and Roxy. Their names were confirmed to be. Thank you for confirming that in the chat. And also another poster for a tour. Those two are definitely the rockers. Here's another example of the glass impacting that you can do when impacting with the environment. It looks sick, just the way it shatters and the way that all the individual pieces fly out looks very, very cool. It's something you don't see very much in games. Just the glass features, you know? The glass features. I think that's something we gotta be focusing on, you know? The glass. Very important, right? I assume this takes place in the sewers. We haven't seen much of the sewers yet, but I assume that takes place down there. Maybe this too. Although, if you look kind of deep into it and turn up the brightness, you can see a clown head. So this might be like Butcho's Clown Hive. No idea. It's definitely a possibility, though. If so, that area probably takes place on the Santa Monica Pier. You should finish Riptide. I will. I don't know if I don't know if I will anytime soon, but I will. All right. The Romeros, we haven't really seen anything inside of this yet, but it's very, very cool looking with like a Hong Kong, Chinatown sort of aesthetic. Pretty cool. This is the guy that many suspect to be Karen, returning from the first Dead Island and the beginning of Riptide. The antagonist of the Dead Island franchise, as some people put him. I put a picture side by side of him in the video. I guess I could pull it up. Should I pull it up? Yeah, I guess I could pull it up. Alright, I'll pull it up. If I still have it on my desktop. It's looking like I don't have it. Okay. Well. Alright. Well, anyways, though, people think this guy is Karen from the first Dead Island. You guys should go check out my video on that. So, it's another character that could be returning. Oh, yep. That's the dude that loses his head before the dude... Okay, so my theory is the dude offers you the joint, you probably decline, and then he offers this dude the joint after he gets his head smashed. Or before he gets his head smashed through the barricade there. It's definitely quite the situation. Gotta look at the rubble there, too. Good amount of, just shit in the environment, you know? It's very, very cool. I've played all of the Dead Island games, even on mobile. I have even played the Arcane one, and I have played the first one, Riptide, even the Dead Island 2 pre-alpha build up the game on my friend. Yep. I've uploaded a couple of videos on the 2015 build of Dead Island 2, which is pretty awesome. I like it. Here we can see another angle of the Hollywood studio type of area here, which looks pretty sick. I fucking love it. Oh, that's funny. There's a sign there in the bottom right that says applause. So in like real movie studios, you'll have a sign that'll tell you to applause, like it shows here. It's basically a movie studio. I don't even know why I'm analyzing it so much. It's pretty cool though. Pretty cool though. What am I throwing? I'm throwing a Molotov. All right. I don't know how I feel about the weapons having these weird elemental type of effects kind of flowing off of them to show their rarity. I think that's something that's kind of iffy to me. I would personally like to just see a weapon and just pick it up. I would not like to know its rarity immediately, but hey, I think for some people this might be a cool feature. Not for me though. I'd personally like to hope I can turn this off and just find weapons and not exactly know how good or not good they are. Because I like to pick up weapons sometimes because of how the weapon looks, not exactly how good the weapon actually is. Might just be anything though. The head rip off scene is pretty weird though. Before the head is ripped off, he doesn't have the joint. Seems like it is too pasted together. Interesting. Analyze. Old gameplay, but you know, analyze, right? I mean, they kind of show the whole scenario right here. I believe this is what you're talking about, right? Yeah, I mean... Oh, the joint. Wait. Oh, yeah. I was forgetting the main part of what we were even talking about here. Okay. So, before the head's ripped off, he doesn't have the joint. He also has the joint. Okay. Does he drop the joint? Oh, no, he's still smoking the joint. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he's just vibing with his joint. Okay. He's living the life up in the apocalypse. Although, the more I look at it, the more kind of... I don't know. It kind of looks like a cigarette. Whatever, man. People are probably desperate for both these in these times. No reason to rewatch that, really. Unless you want to see some more Lenny Kravitz Jacob. Also, for those that don't know, Jacob is based off the artist Lenny Kravitz. Kravitz? Oh, I don't know. Alright. We've been streaming for a good while now. Talked about quite a lot. I guess... What else is there to really talk about? I'm not really sure. What joint mean? I don't speak English. Joint, in other terms, is marijuana or weed rolled up in paper. Okay, so this shows the weapons packs and so on. Alright, things we already probably have known for months. I can only analyze so much more. Not really much to see. Not really much to take a look at. I guess I could look at these trailers of some sort, because they do kind of show some footage I haven't looked at too much. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, I think we're also in the arcade area in here. Pretty cool. Another angle of that. Glad to see more of that. We're also in the Santa Monica up here at night. I love this area in general. This weapon. This is a good example of the weapon modification that you can see when it comes to the guns. So you can see you can have like an electricity, like a Stingray gun. It's pretty awesome. I would assume before this is a normal shotgun of some sort, but you know, after you equip everything, modify it, you can do this. Awesome. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Alright, let's look at the other ones too, might as well, right? Oh, interesting. That's an interesting effect. Okay, let's start with the first one. Okay, interesting. So we can see inside of one of the hotel areas for those that want to see more. Well, here you go. See what the, I believe, Halpern Hotel looks like. The fight, the bride boss fight is in. So the same area the bride boss fight is in, I believe. I'm just speculating, as I always do. Although, a lot of the time I do have some solid info, don't get me wrong. Anyone know what happened to Cinemoa? No, we do not know, unfortunately. So you can see there's a modification on this weapon of some sort, because the hit impact leaves like a green juice flying off of it as well. I assume the green juice, that's the same acid that we can see ourselves spitting out as well, but although this could just be like an acid and that's just what they're calling it, we have no idea. Do you think it's going to be RPG-ish or more linear? It's definitely going to be more on the linear side of things, if I had to guess. But the map itself is definitely going to be more linear than like an open world RPG. Definitely more RPG? Well, I don't know. I think it depends what you classify as an RPG. I look at an RPG as a game like The Witcher 3, where it's an extremely vast open world game with so many different things, and Dead Island 2 is going a lot more simpler. I think it's going to be more of a straightforward linear game with some RPG elements. So there's going to be RPG elements. We just don't know exactly to what extent. You know, you have the skill card system, so you have some things. Oh, wow, that's weird. Wait, oh, no, okay. Alright, I thought the arm was just floating with the zombie there. Okay. Yeah. Interesting looking effect. I'm curious what the context of this is, but my guess is like an acid of some sort that's flying off. Probably doing extra damage. We can see the damage indicators, showing what the blood looks like when it covers around the screen. Cool to see that. We can see the kick. There's the kick animation, which looks interesting. Nice kick animation. Also, there's the drop kick, which throws like a weird flare of some sort. It almost looks like a spark. Definitely very arcadey and cartoony. I'm actually not sure what to think about it, though. It's almost like an unnecessary circumstance where you would even add that animation spark effect. Like, I don't know. Definitely an odd choice. Okay, let's head back to the first character revealed of them all. Jacob. So I've looked at this gameplay quite a bit already, but this shows just some of the Venice Beach area. It shows that there's evacuation stuff going on. So like I last pointed out in my other Game Informer analysis video, one of my last ones, is that there's evacuation centers in places around LA. So we can see that there's like directions heading to some. Churros, ice cream, cafe and bar, pizza and burgers. Hopefully we can eat. Eat good. Eat good. Feel like the spark is an ability? That is very likely. I could see that. Here's another look at the pickaxe. Looks pretty cool. I like that you can do that push animation. It definitely looks pretty interesting. I'm glad there's animations depending on the weapon that you have in your hand. Like it's not just the same animation. You know what I mean. This dropkick seems to have an extra explosive perk you can add with a card, maybe. That makes sense. The spark effect on the dropkick could be an extra upgrade or new skill. A new skill card. Yep, that's probably likely what it is. Makes sense. Good observation, guys. Oh, also we can see one of the tattoos. Interesting. Just kind of the back alley area. In the construction area, I think, if I had to guess. Hopefully in future San Francisco comes back in an expansion, but I doubt it. Most games don't do that anymore. Yeah, I feel like it'd be kind of weird if they brought back San Francisco, because they centered the expansion pass, which has two-story DLCs, around saying they'll be in LA. At least that's just the way they worded it. So I think our DLCs are going to be in the same California area, at least similar to what we see. Here's another gas tank zombie, which I showed on the beach earlier, showing us on the Santa Monica Pier with a helicopter crash into the background, which kind of makes this area more linear, blocking off certain areas we could probably go to without the helicopter crashed. So I think that's pretty interesting, showing how the environment has limited you to where you can go, whether it's a crashed helicopter, blocked cars, or even an earthquake. I'm very interested in seeing how they explain a lot of these things. I hope you'll be able to see the cards at high res and not just small icons. Yeah, the art on the cards does look very, very cool. I think the artist did a very good job doing that. Dead Island 2 review score predictions. I think it's a little too early to think that, but if I had to guess, I'm going to say low 80s, high 70s on Metacritic. Feel free to clip that. Okay, so we can see the palm smash animation, which looks pretty cool. The area we're actually in is definitely interesting. We haven't seen this much. This kind of shows between what the buildings looks like in the downtown area, so that's pretty neat, like what we see. Here kind of shows how the earthquake splits apart the map a little bit, so you can assume you won't be able to explore all the way into the distance, but you do have some stuff downtown to explore here. I think for the city being one long road, it makes sense that there was going to be some things that would split it in half, or split it into tiny pieces or little districts. And there you go. The earthquake does that. This weapon's sick. Love it. Alright. We can see the Halpern Hotel over there as well. Okay. And then the last character revealed is Carla. And then we'll take a look at one more thing. So you can see the Los Angeles What am I saying? The Los Angeles Police Department, brain fart, is there to the side. Also, one thing I noticed is a limb is missing from the zombie, meaning you probably can chop limbs off of zombies, but I don't. Wait a minute. Don't know for certain. I just noticed something very, very weird, and I don't know if I'm noticing it right. But I didn't notice it right. Okay. The map looks very vibrant and with lots of interiors. It's going to be fun to explore, I hope. Yeah, I think those that even live in, like, California are going to have a joy time just exploring this and seeing how it actually compares to the real-life LA. But yeah, I think we can actually cut limbs off of zombies. At least that's just my guess. While they're still alive. If not, that'd be very weird with the whole new gore system they invented. What are you most excited for about this game? Do you think Sam B has a new song for us? I'll read the first one first. What are you most excited for about this game? I think the thing I'm most excited for is being able to entertain you all, being able to have something new to talk about and look forward to, but also just having a nice new zombie slasher. I'm somebody that grew up with games like Dead Island, games like Dead Rising, and games of its type that are more arcadey than serious like you get from other games like The Last of Us. So I'm excited to see that crazy, fun, campy tone kind of come back, as long as it's not, like, insanely ridiculous, you know, to the point where you can't take any of it seriously. I want to be able to care for the characters, be able to care for what's going on, and, you know, want to actually feel something for the player that I'm creating through my skill cards and through the story. We do know all the characters have their own backstories and so on. We just don't know to what extent those are actually explored within the story that we all have to play. Could there be different endings? Maybe. Could there be different endings for all 6 playable characters depending on which character you choose? I don't know. Do not know. Still up in the air. And hopefully we'll find out sometime. Am I expecting there to be multiple different endings? Not really. Don't know why. I just don't think this game will be focused on the choices as much as a game like Dying Light 2 or The Witcher is. But I don't know. Share your thoughts. Are you excited that Dying Light 2 has competition now? Yes, in a number of ways. I'm excited that Techland's going to get their push to kind of like, alright, You guys got to really step it up. You guys got to really go all out. And I think that is definitely a nice thing to look forward to. I think the games are very, very similar in a lot of ways, but they're actually, oh my god, water break, right? Am I right? But they're actually very, very different in a number of ways that I'll explain once the game launches and we can actually see for ourselves. But I already see a number of things to tell apart. I think the games are going to play very differently. I think the games are going to feel very different. And hopefully, yeah, we'll see for ourselves. So no more delays. I'm just kidding. It's not going to happen. Definitely not. Definitely not. It's already set in stone. No more delays. Oh, yeah. I can't believe my silly, silly self didn't even think of this, but this is the Venice Beach area at night. We've mainly focused on Venice Beach in the day, so it's actually very, very cool to see it finally at night for what it is. And it's cool. It's not completely pitch black out, as you got some sun in the vibrance behind the clouds in the distance going down. But it is cool. It's there. We can see. So yeah, you can explore Venice Beach in the day, and also Venice Beach at night. What do you think the DLC is going to be? Literally no idea. I think it was cool how the Chinese theater, it was an event called the Romeros, a little nod to George Romero. Oh, I did not make that connection. That is a very, very good observation. Good job, Dante. Yeah. Alright. Here's also more gameplay. Also more gameplay of Venice Beach at night, or at least I think Venice Beach. It actually looks kind of creepy. I like the areas at night. I think I'm actually going to have more fun playing them at night than in the day, but I don't know, time will tell. I like the look of everything, though. Looks very nice. I also like that it isn't exactly fully pitch black yet. You kind of get a little bit of brightness in the background, so you can kind of see some things fully. Like, I think the vibrancy of dusk looks cool, instead of just pitch black. So yeah, we got that animation with that mod, electrifying those guys. Pretty cool. Now, where are we? What is this? Okay, so most of these clips are actually Venice Beach at night. Okay. Not in service. Like a quarantine area. Interesting. I have no idea where to even begin with the location of where that area is. Feel free to share your thoughts. How do you feel about DltaStudios' capability to hit expectations for the game? It's one thing I'm very, very concerned about. Because if you look at Deep Silver and Dambuster, specifically his last couple games, or actually last specific game, which is Homefront the Revolution, the game launched rough. It definitely launched in a fuck. Can't speak. What am I doing? It launched in a rough state, to put it into words. So I'm a little concerned, but I think them delaying the game would be nice for them to. Well, I mean, they already did delay the game, but I think them delaying the game was nice for them just to have time to really figure out what they want this game to be. All right, I'm getting that Quagmire effect on my voice because I'm not used to talking this much. Yeah. For those that know, they know. Okay. All right, so I'm not gonna try to figure out where this area is. I have absolutely no idea. But here, we can see more of the Venice Beach at night with a collectible baggie there of some sort. I definitely like the creepy aesthetics of this area, though. It's very, very nice. I like what we see a lot. Treasury of Venice, which is going to explain what Venice is all about. We could see some quarantine signs to the left there. So it's cool to see how this type of California was impacted by the virus, showing how, you know, there's quarantine signs, quarantine zones, tanks, and crashed helicopters. It's very, very nice. And yeah, that is all of the gameplay so far, besides the Alexa game control trailer. The only reason I'm really focusing on this is because it shows some of the Venice Beach area. Here, we gotta go full screen. Shows some of the Venice Beach area, just a little bit differently. Also, I've always kind of wondered if this is actually the main loading screen, or not the main loading screen, the main menu screen for Dead Island 2 when you first load in, but I kind of doubt it. Although, they did animate it, though. Huh. The clouds actually move in the background, too. Why would they animate clouds for a 2-second little teaser? Huh. You know what? The more I look at it, the more it is possible this could be the main menu screen for Dead Island 2. I don't know, though. It almost looks too animated just to be used for 2 seconds of gameplay, or for this video. So, I don't know, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious what you guys think. So, yeah, that could be the main menu. You see them running around a little bit. We can see Fury Mode is unlocked in the top left there. In a lot of the Game Informer gameplay, Fury Mode isn't unlocked yet. So my guess is Fury Mode is unlocked a little bit after level 10, before maybe level 20. But I think it generally just it depends on how you're progressing through the story. If Avalanche will definitely redeem themselves. Yes. Yes. Dan Buster can definitely redeem themselves with this game, and I'm hoping they do. One thing to point out is that the areas are actually kind of linear in the Venice Beach city-ish town area, but they actually are quite open. So I think you can actually go from here all the way to Venice Beach out into the water. We actually don't know if we can explore the water, but it's something to think about. Pretty cool, pretty cool. See one of the modded weapons there, which is has a rarity of purple. You can also see it has the flame effect in the bottom right. So, the weapon modifications can be showed in the bottom right in the HUD under the weapon that's in use. So, for example, if you have a certain weapon, the rarity will also be showed in that icon as well. But under that, you can see the elemental effect or modification you have on. Which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I mean, it should be there, but I'm just pointing things out, you know. We can also see the Fury Mode. You can see the XP in the top left, showing what that looks like. Okay. You can see all the amount of points that in your health that you're taking off of the zombies. Wish we could say good stuff about the day before. Yeah, I wish, but there's really nothing much good to say. I'm trying to look at how long Fury Mode is lasting for. It's really hard to take a guess because it's so cut up. Also, check out top left. You can cancel. Okay, so, alright. Kanahuko in the chat pointed out that in the top left, you can also turn off Fury Mode when you want to as well. So if you don't want to use up all of your Fury Mode skill abilities in that moment, you can actually turn that off and probably save the rest for later. At least that's just what we guess. Very, very cool. I'm glad that the game is actually like that, so you're not forced to just constantly use Fury Mode. Brutal. Brutal, brutal. How do you guys think about the Fury effect, by the way? It's definitely interesting. Venice Market. Okay. Excuse me. So, one of my worries here is that these two crushers can sit there and just... I was going to say something, but the more I thought about it, the more it did not come out right. I was going to say these two crushers can just sit around you and pound you, but that really does not sound right. So let me rephrase that, even though I already said it. These two crushers can probably just do the ground slam ability multiple times to the point where it probably could be very annoying. It's a complaint I've spoken about before, so hopefully it's something that... I'm hoping the ability for the ground slamming isn't used too often. It's kind of what I'm saying here. Oh, man, oh, man. Alright. A different kind of area. So we can kind of... Oh, we can see Burger 66. So here, in the Venice Beach town area, we can see where the Burger 66 restaurant is at, as well as some other things, as a help banner on the rooftop, showing that there is survivors on the rooftop in some way. We don't know the scale of rooftop exploration. Well, let me say that again. We don't know the scale of rooftop exploration and... We don't know the scale of rooftop exploration Dead Island 2 yet, but I do think we'll be able to get on most of the rooftops, at least from what I've seen. Which hasn't been a ton of rooftop gameplay yet, but I do think there's going to be a lot of, hopefully, a good amount of verticality. At least because, you know, it's not like there's skyscrapers in this game, so hopefully it's interesting. When I'm stuttering, it's kind of like, alright, Ty, gotta take your 5-minute annual drink of water. Alright. So we're level 23 here. That's something to keep in mind. Maybe it's a safe house. Maybe. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Not trying to get demonetized, even though my last stream got demonetized, and then I sent it to some human actual people, because, you know, half the time my videos get claimed, it's not actually for the right reasons. So when I had a human actually look at it, they're like, oh, this video is fine. It's like, okay, why even, I don't know. I guess they blame the YouTube robots then. I am kind of fearing after this game releases, it's going to be difficult to make a video and it not get demonetized. So I'm really holding out hope. Really holding out hope this game isn't going to be completely demonetized like when it releases, because it's something to think about, and it's a big worry of mine. But yeah, it's whatever. Alright. Yeah, I think, what else can we talk about? Is there really anything else to talk about? I mean, we can take a look back at the LA trailer, I guess. There's not really much else, though. Share some final comments in the comments below. I'm probably going to wrap up the stream here shortly. You know, when it gets to the point after a couple hours where you don't even know what to talk about, that's probably the sign. So, we're at that point. Here we can see the table that we'll be customizing things with. We don't know if we have to come to one of these crafting tables, but my guess is yes. And you can see the modification weapons right there, which look pretty cool. Modified weapons. Oh, the dude's just chilling right there. Okay. Interesting. Not even zapped by the electricity. He's built different. Truly built different. I respect it. I respect it. Wouldn't want to leave my life around this guy. Truly built different. Look at him. He's just absorbing the electricity. He's living through it like it's a normal day in the apocalypse. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Just review the game with a center bar on the screen. Yeah. But the problem is, I don't know what animations to use the center bar on, because some are going to be censored and some aren't. So it's kind of just like going back and forth about what I should actually do. I wonder how far they'll go with weapon mods this time around. Yeah, we have absolutely no idea. Here is inside of one of the military camps, by the way. For those that want to see inside of what the quarantine zone looks like. Here you go. You got like your basic tents and so on, all of your gates and stuff. The weapon mods give me Dead Rising vibes. Yes, 100%. Because, you know, in Dead Rising, you had, like, these weapon mod rooms that you would have to go into to weaponize their certain mods. So, it's very, very cool. Dead Island 1 had something like this, so I assume it's more in that range than Dead Rising. But it's very, very cool. I like it. Okay. Tattoo shop. We'll go back a bit. Yep, tattoo shop. For those that want to see it, that's what the tattoo shop looks like. With the flash system. Oh, he deleted it. Never mind. Here's the Butcher Zombie, the Rockstar Butcher one, in another scenario, coming down to give us a little spook. You think we are getting a mini-map? No, I think we're going to be getting just a compass. Just a compass. Which, I honestly think the future of mini-maps are kind of gone. I think they're kind of going out of style a little bit. I think compasses are just more convenient and spoil less of actually what's in the area. Because I think compasses allow for you to head in the direction of actually what you want to find. I think a map kind of just spoils exactly where certain things are. So it kind of takes away from the exploration a little bit, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, with a compass, you know the area of where certain things are. But with a mini-map, you actually specifically know for certain. Butcher behind the Rockstar Butcher, by the way. Is that really? Is that really? Is that really? Let's take a look back. I lost where it was. You gotta give me a second. I think it's a little before this. I don't know. If I can't find it now, I'll find it later. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Feel free to leave your final questions in the comments, though, because we're probably gonna end it here shortly. That's like one moment I should not show on stream. That too. That is just asking for me to get absolutely scratched in the ass from the demonetization. Okay. Alright. Will this game be open world? Nope. It's going to be fairly linear. I mean, there's going to be open world elements to it, like you're going to be able to explore a lot of districts, like a downtown area, Venice Beach, maybe even the ice cream shop, although the gate here kind of does pull away from the fact that you probably won't be able to enter it. Gotta head back to the beginning. I think that's more of what I'm looking for. There's the Inferno Crusher. Another look at that dude in that boss fight. Creepy area. Venice Beach, not Venice Beach. Santa Monica Pier at night. Pretty cool. Going to go play some Dead Island Riptide. Have fun with your stream. Thank you. Probably going to be ending it here shortly. As honestly, there's not really too much else to talk about. Not too much. We've really analyzed all of the Dead Island 2 gameplay this time around. I said last time we would analyze a lot, but this time we really did. Okay, here we go. So, in the background, apparently there's another butcher zombie right there. It almost looks like his hand is up against the glass, though. I don't know. But either way, we have multiple different butcher variants, and I think that's the one thing that's most important. So, it's not like Butcher the Clown is the only butcher zombie we're going to be facing, which is nice. It's going to be many. Wonder how the story will go for the game. No idea. We just know some characters are returning. Some maybe will, some maybe won't. I don't know. Time will tell. That's for certain. Certain. Alright. I guess we'll take a back at this. Take a look back at this. Jesus, what am I even saying? Okay. Alright. I know I got 50 people in here, but honestly, we've kind of talked about everything. It's almost a 3-hour stream, so I think 3 hours? I don't know. I've lost track of time at this point. Do you think we will free roam after beating the game and put you in a free roaming spot? We don't know how the game will end, so literally no idea. Can't wait for the staple. Yes, I can't wait for the staple either. Leave your final questions in the comments, and or just whatever you want to talk about. Ask me questions. Ask questions about the game. Whatever you guys want to say. I'm going to chill back and let you guys send in your questions as I relax and let the stream come to an end, you know. Let everything be finished off, because this was a great stream. Expect a couple videos from this in the next couple days. Some videos that aren't from this. Talk about RE4 Remake. Oh man, RE4 Remake looks phenomenal. Everything about it. Beautiful. Yeah, it looks great. That's mainly my my feelings. Yeah, it just looks great. I could sit there and analyze the footage, but honestly, we gotta keep the stream focused on Dead Island 2. Gotta keep it on Dead Island 2. Last time I went and focused on the day before for a little while, and I kind of was just like, I feel like everybody just wants to see Dead Island 2 as well as myself, so keep it focused on that. And next time, maybe we'll stream something different. Come by next Thursday, because that's when we're going to be streaming, most likely, every single week. So next Thursday, we're going to be streaming. What we are going to be streaming, I have yet to decide. I could upload a poll to the channel going over, you know, having like a question list of what you guys want to see be live streamed before Dead Island 2 releases. Because there's some things to talk about that isn't Dead Island 2 related, to be exact. But, hey, let me know what you guys think and want to see. Regardless, though, I think that is going to be all from me for today. I appreciate you guys stopping by to come tune into the live stream. And yeah, thank you all for the support. It's been a very, very nice stream. And stop by. Thanks for watching. And stop by for the next one. Adios, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the love and support more than you guys could ever realize. And once again, thank you to Dan Buster and Deep Silver for sending me this. It's a little see-through, but yeah. Anyways, folks, stop by for the next one. Cheers.